Right, so there we go, guys. We are live across the board tonight. It's a lovely, clear night, so let's hope it stays that way. And we are going to be starting our journey off tonight there, looking out for UFO, UAP, strange and mysterious objects in the night sky here. Coming to you live from Wiltshire in the UK, which is right in the heart of Crop Circle country, and just down the road from Stonehenge. So keep your eyes peeled for the strange and anomalous tonight there. Use the grid and say hello in the chat there. Let us know where you're all watching from tonight. We're going to see a lot of movement. Last night was very, very active. Hopefully those clouds will stay at bay for us again tonight, so we can have a wonderful spotting there tonight. But yes, lots of moving objects. You can see one moving across the screen right now, and we're going to see a lot of things like that. In fact, let's zoom in on this one. So let's get my cursor over here.
Zoom mode activated.
Right, there we go. So we've got one right here. Now this, as far as we know, guys, is going to be one of the many, many man-made satellites up there in the night sky. Now that is the camera having a bit of a sulk there. So give me 2 seconds. I've got to go. It's playing up again today, so I'm going to be running up and downstairs. But give me a second. We'll sort that one out. How are you doing there, Carl and DJ there? Oh, you got your phone fixed. Excellent. It is good to see you there. Zen and Harko. Give me a second. Got to fix the camera. Bloody thing. Right, 2 seconds. Actually, let me just make sure it's not. Yeah, it's that one. Give me a second. It's going to be one of those at nights. Oh, let's see how long it lasts now. It normally settle itself down at some point, but until then, we'll be playing silly games with the old camera. Oh, it's not even going dark enough yet. Come on, there we go. Got to trick it. Let's get the brightness up there so we can actually see what we are doing. Right, let's bring our tracking software back up there. There we go. All right. And start that tracking. And let's see, where did we get to in the chat? How are we doing? There, Kate is in. How are you doing? It's bright. It is bright tonight. It hasn't quite got dark enough there yet. That blue is still the daylight. Now, you can't see that with the human eye, but it is still up there. The sun has not fully gone around yet there. Carl is in as well, DJ and Harko. How are you guys doing? Over on the tubes there, Zen is in there. Can't sleep in your garage tonight there. I escaped from the RAF there. If only I had a garage then. If only I did. I could store all of my extra stuff there. And you'll be more than welcome if we did have one there. And wow. Oh, what's going on there? Hold on. There you go, Raf. That one's for you. Right, hold on. Let's stop that one. What's going on there? It's having a bit of a sulk. Let's turn that one down. See if that's... No, that's still going on. What's giving the tracking software a bit of a sulk? It's all going a bit wrong tonight, guys. Hold on, let's crank that up to about there. Let's see if we can still pick up some there. Technical. There, Tickers is in. How are you doing? Good to see you there tonight. There, Mayor is in as well. How are you doing? And where are we? DJ there. Oh my God, yeah, they're worth it. We're so dependent on those devices these days, but it's never cheap. There, Rio is in as well. There. It's Jazzy there. Grim is in as well. How are you doing there? So yeah, guys, tonight we are doing a live UFO, a UAP, a Skywatch, and we're coming to you live from Wiltshire in the UK, which is right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stonehenge. So, a very ancient, busy, mysterious landscape in the night sky. I hope you Skywatchers are ready for another night of awesome activity there. So, as it gets darker, we're going to see more and more stars, but also more and more of those objects, and some of those are going to be anomalous. So that is where we have to pay attention and do our best to spot that strange behaviour. Hopefully, if the tracker sorts itself out, we're having right technical stuff tonight, but if the tracker sorts itself out, then that will aid us in our quest for the anomalous there. And Grim and DJ, thank you for feeding Alan there as well. And DJ, thank you for sending a treasure box. Guys, do thank DJ there when you claim that one. And Backyard, how are you doing tonight? Good to see you. It is a Meteor shower tonight. So, yeah, hopefully we're going to see a lot of that. I have positioned the camera so that in about half an hour's time, maybe a little bit longer than that, we should start to see, be perfectly positioned for those meteors there. Oh, look, there you go. The tracker is working there. Actually, that's quite a good lock. Let's see, zoom in on that one. How are we doing? Let's go.
Zoom mode activated.
Thank you, computer. Target acquired there. So it's doing its job, and the idea with this at the minute is that it's going to identify that movement on screen, give it a little target symbol there, then it judges where it has been, and then predicts a straight path out in front of it, and that's what that line is there. And satellites, because they are falling to Earth in a big circle there, that is essentially a straight line from our point of view. So if that object moves along that straight line, keeping quite strictly to its path there, then we know we have just one of the many satellites flying around up there, and therefore probably not worth our time. But if it deviates from that, then it should go red, and highlight that. Now it's learning, and it's got a long way to go. It will lose them, and it will get the wrong ones occasionally, but this is how it learns that in practice there. And Bly there, and why yesterday you stopped so suddenly? Oh, I don't know, didn't we? No, we came off normally yesterday. Maybe there was a technical error, because we were having a few bugs yesterday. It did start to freeze, didn't it? So maybe it was something like that on your end. I know that there's a bit of a delay over on the tubes. So even though we say our goodbyes here, I think YouTubers get a raw end of the deal. It just snaps you off at some point there. But sorry about that one, Bly. And A-Up is in. How are we doing tonight there? Been between 2 and 4 a.m. then, about 100 miles an hour. Or we won't be up for the full part of that one, because there's two areas, isn't there, to watch tonight. Two parts of the sky for that one. Brad is in as too, well, Lee as well. And we're all good, Rio. We're all good. Technical glitches, but we'll move on. I won't dwell on it too much. Hopefully, the viewing experience should be fine, guys. There, David's in as well. And hello from Nova Scotia. Now, I really want a world map, a little pinboard there, because we get so many people like yourself there. I don't think we've had anybody in from Nova Scotia before, but I'd love to start drawing that world map of where everybody has joined us from. I think that'd be really, really cool. How are your skies? I imagine there's going to be a lot of activity. I find the places that are like less densely populated, more people can see more of the sky and therefore see more of those anomalies. Where are we there? Matt's in a new pod as well there. And Private Tomcat, how are you doing there? And also A-Up put a treasure box in as well there. So do thank A-Up when you claim those coins there over on the TikTok there, Rio.
Nom nom nom.
Thank you for feeding Alan. So yeah, guys, we are doing a live UFO UAP Skywatch tonight, and it is live from Wiltshire in the UK. As you can see the trees at the back of my garden there. So we are currently pointing northeast there, and we're also trying to align it, not only because this is a interesting patch of sky, but it is where we are going to get some of that meteorite activity tonight. Hopefully we're going to see nature put on a bit of a show whilst we're watching for the strange and anomalous. These skies here in Wiltshire, not only are we right in the heart of Crop Circle country here, as we say, but also right in the middle of the weird and wonderful Wiltshire county of. There are lots of strange things over the years in these skies, so do pay attention and let us know what you spot, and we'll zoom in on the anomalous stuff there tonight. But also say hello in the chat, let us know where you're watching from. Let us know how you feel about the UFO phenomena. Ask any questions you like there. There's no silly questions, so do ask away there. And where are we in there? Bougie, how are you doing? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. That and Backyard as well. We had a busy day gardening today. We are hitting the hay early. Oh, well, no worries there, Backyard. Good to see you there. And I'm glad you made the most of the weather today there. And Marcus is in. How are you doing tonight, Marcus? There, missed you too, Bougie. I hope you've been well. I hope you've had lots of interesting things. Life, sometimes, if we're lucky, will give us a lot more interesting things to do in the evening, won't it? So hopefully it was good, busy there. And Master Plaster, how are you doing? Isle of Man, a very magical place there. Bet you've got some stories to tell there. And Backyard as well, coming in with the shares there, guys. It is the shares, the likes, all that sort of stuff. Helps us reach more and more like-minded people there, like yourselves. You never know who's going to come in and what sort of story they're going to tell. Or maybe it's their life experience, their career, all of that sort of thing there can help us understand the phenomena and how we are searching there. And Girl Gamer, how you doing there? When's the meteors coming? So there's a peak, I think, in the early hours for us UK time, but this patch of sky in about half an hour's time should align for that activity there as well. Hey Chip, and is that I can't even pronounce that one. Here, there, I like that. Correct me on the pronunciation, but thank you for the shares. Do appreciate all of those. Zulan as well there, and Sean. Excellent, guys. Very, very grateful for those. You never know what friends we are going to make there. And Michael there. Hi, all. Watching from Northumberland. Good, nice and close to home. You got clear skies tonight. I'm a bit worried we're going to get some cloud later there. Mayor's in trouble with the mob again. Oh, no. What did you do? And they're accusing me of being drunks because of the empty Stella cans. Oh, Zen. I mean, you know, if the shoe fits there. And Gaza, how are you doing? Good to see you there. And David there. It's 17:40 and now dark in about 3.5 hours. I keep looking for anomalies, but I haven't seen anything to date. And you know what? I hadn't at all myself until moving here to the country. It was just too light polluted where I was. And even with the naked eye, I have seen things now, but it took a while. Now, luckily, a lens like this, it lets in about 2.5 times the light there that the human eye can see. So we're able to see a lot more, hence all the movement and things that we're seeing now. But yeah, with the aid of the lens, we can see a lot more. So keep your eyes peeled there, David. You never know. It will happen at some point there. The more you look, the more those chances add up there. And what's the learning rate there? Do you find it quite accurate there? So what for the tracker, the learning rate it's a steep learning curve, and it's not gotten quite yet. Can you see that? Some of them it tracks perfectly, and some of them it's really having a trouble with. Like that one was really off. Now this one in the middle here, like, it's bang on.
Zoom mode activated.
It's bang on. It's right in the middle of that target. It's getting it right. And what was the difference between those two? They're the same sort of brightness and speed, so why does it track that one more successfully? And there's one off to the edge here as well. Now it's lost it. It had that one perfect. So it's going to hopefully learn as the night goes on. It gets exposed to more and more of those objects. But in the meantime, it's an aid, but we can't fully rely on it. So do keep your eyes on the screen there. Monitor those objects moving across there, and you never know. It could even be the last second before it goes off of the screen there. If it does something strange, like stop dead, change its course or trajectory there, its speed, anything like that will tell us that it is not one of the many man-made satellites up there, and it is in fact something a little bit more interesting, and that is what we need. That is the Eureka there, and it's clear skies on and off there. Well, hopefully that should be enough for us to still get a good Skywatch in, and thank you for the weather report there. Sound Michael on the ground. Mayor isn't in trouble there. I'm a hologram. That's your excuse there as well. Rio and Kate as well, Marcus and Bougie, thank you guys for the gifts. And
nom. Thanks,
feeding
guys.
Alan there. Do appreciate all of that. So it all goes back into the stream there, helping us improve what we do. Who is joining us on Friday evening over on the Discord for Movie Club? That'll be at, was it 10 p.m. UK time? We're going to be watching Paul. Alien, but a bit more of a lighter-hearted one than some of the ones we have watched there. But you're all welcome to join us. It's on the Discord. We press play at the same time and chat along in the chat there. So that'll be 10 p.m. at UK time. Hopefully we can try and squeeze in a stream just before that. Alan's, he's a bit grumpy, Bougie. Do you remember that they cut his gifts off? So he's now just going for scraps. He's going for anything edible, so he's a bit grumpy, and I have to deal with it there. Oh, Anglesey Beer Buster, love it there. And we need to feed him. We do need to feed Alan. I have to deal with him if he is hungry. And Sharon there, do you find sometimes they bounce off of the stars like they get a boost? Oh, good question. I don't think that's something I've seen yet. But, I mean, talking about, trajectories and how they fly rockets, that is exactly how we use our current rocket technology. When we're getting those probes and things to Mars or out in there into the deeper solar system, take Voyager, for example, how they got it up to speed wasn't that they had a big booster and just shot it off. That's how they got out of the atmosphere. But what they did is they I think they went to Mars and Venus, and every time they went around one of those planets, they got that gravitational assist, they call it a slingshot around each one, and each time it sped it up a little bit. They call it a grand tour, and if the planets in our solar system are alive, you can do all of them, and that's what they did with Voyager. So it wasn't a straight path just off and out, but yeah, they do that a lot of the time. So in principle, that is definitely something to look out for. Now, these objects that we're seeing on screen now, this is more low Earth orbit. It's not too far out, because what we're seeing is those things are flying around up there, but they're reflecting that sun's light back to us. So as the sun has gone around for us here in the ground, it's dark, but those things are off the surface there. They can still catch the sun for a little bit longer there and bounce that light back to us. So we're actually seeing quite close to the planet. These things are very, very close by, so keep your eyes peeled on them ones. And my username is in. How are you doing there? And it's crowded up there. It is, and we're not seeing all of it. This is just the ones that are at the right altitude to get it there. I mean, there's going to be a lot more, but it is. I did not realise how crowded space was. It is phenomenally busy there as well. There, and Tom, good to see you there, and I can't find how to feed Alan, so it's just any of the gifts, anything food related he'll have now, because yeah, he used to have the alien pets, didn't he, but they cut those ones off, so he's not happy about that. But anything food related there. DJ as well, thank you for the gifts. Brad's as well, and Bougie, all goes back into the stream there, and you too, Backyard there, enjoy your day tomorrow there as well. So, and so in there, it's any meteors, not yet, but we are pointing at the right part of the sky. So in about half an hour's time, it should perfectly align with where they are coming from tonight there. We should start to see Vega come in shot there. And Rio, thank you for eating, Alan.
Nom nom nom.
A nice slice of cake there. Oh, I want some cake there. And Sean there, I thought you said something else there then. Then I realised Paul. Oh my God, Sean, yeah, this happened yesterday. Everybody went, oh my God, what's that? Yeah, obviously something in my part Essex accent there. It sounds like a little bit sketchy. You know we're desperate for the dollar if if we've done that. And there, we've been throwing him ice cream and tomatoes, occasionally koalas, if he's good. That's exactly how we're feeding Alan there. And Thomas there, our shooting stars tonight there should be. And Carl, we'll try to get on the Friday there, depending on signal. Oh yeah, because you're going away, aren't you, on Friday? Well, Carl, obviously, have a fantastic time there. So if it doesn't work out, don't get those silly roaming charges trying to join in there. If you can, it'd be great, but if not, you have a fantastic holiday there. And Rip, pretty sure I just saw the ISS. So Rip, when the ISS goes over, it is phenomenal. It's the biggest, brightest, fastest object up there, and I'd never seen it before until moving here to the country. And one night I'm looking up, and this big, bright, white light just shoots across the sky. And I've seen satellites like this, and this was just insane. And I called the missus, come on, you got to see this, get out of bed. Come on, you got to see this. We've got one, we've got a UFO. What the hell is that? And she's like, it's the ISS. And you'd think I'd learn, but no, then it caught me out about a week later as well. It's phenomenal to see it there. And Sharon as well, no worries. Good questions, guys. Do ask away if you've got any questions there. I'd love to hear them. There's no silly questions at all there. I was watching something very weird. I screen recorded it. Oh, tag us in it so we can see that one there. I was live. It was the ISS Alive something. A very weird screen recording. So they do say that there is some clips going around, isn't there, of things that are caught on those ISS cameras in the background. And they quickly shut off the stream, because you'd think up there, perfect position to see the strange stuff, and apparently they do there. And Bougie got the satellite tracking, so there is a good few websites that will do the satellite tracking. It's really, really cool, but with the amount that we have on screen, like, I kind of gave up, but I would really love to do it. If we could tie it in with this software and we could label the ones. Harco was giving it a really good crack earlier. He was kind of matching up the ones that we were seeing and trying to put the names in time, but it goes so fast, doesn't it? There, and Kate coming in with the shares there. I do that. Oh, then it cut off. That's exactly what they do. They don't want us to see it there. M to the C, and Kate coming in with the shares. Guys, it's the likes, the shares, all of that stuff, the tapping away that helps us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves. I'm across a couple of chats tonight, so you'll have to bear with us. But I'm coming back over to the tubes. You guys have been waiting patiently, and hopefully I can catch up with what you guys are saying there. And I had this is Paul, I had a non-malevolent alien contact at age 4. They told me they are concerned we would blow ourselves up. Paul, that's very, very interesting. there, because there are a lot of reports of a similar sort of account there. Blow ourselves up with the nuclear weapons there. What the harm that we are causing to our planet and our environment there. It's very, very interesting, isn't it? There, and it's quite plausible that a very advanced species there, in kind of the way that take our Western culture now, and we look to some other countries and we go, well, look at the rubbish you've got strewn around there. Look at all of your coal-fired power plants doing all that damage, and we kind of go, look, we're higher and wiser than that now. And I could see, there is an extraterrestrial race that has overcome the things that we have, that has advanced, and they would have those warnings for us there. Don't do the damage. It is plausible. And you don't like sickbay there, Mao. Oh no, it's Zen on sickbay. And is that Garnet there as well? Professor Simons is a good YouTube paranormal channel. I enjoy a bit of Professor Simon, actually. Yeah, Simon Holland, isn't it? Yeah, he every now and again he comes out with something very, very interesting. I do. He's one of the ones that I check. Who else? Jesse Michael's American Alchemy. That is my favourite there. Some of the stuff that he finds out and shares with us there, I think is very, very valuable there. Like a large cranium up there. And so not quite the paranormal investigations there, more of like interviews and sort of positing ideas and theories there. And Chris there, do you think 3i Atlas is an alien probe or not? So I think I default to it not. I think I default to it being like a fancy organic object of some nature there. Maybe it is a comet there, but it's still doing a lot of strange things. Now that's not a hard-held belief at all. I just don't. I think there's so much information coming out about it both ways, of anomalous and also prosaic, because there was a few things that it was doing that I would find a technological explanation to be very, very hard to explain some of those things, but it was still doing anomalous stuff, so couldn't find a shoe that fit. So I've got like a very loose that I leaned towards organic with that one. Now Oumuamua, the first interstellar object, I think that remains an incredibly strong candidate there for something potentially alien there. So many interesting things about that. We didn't quite get the news because we caught it on its way out of our solar system, but that was very, and still is very, very anomalous there. And Adele's in the house there. Looking forward to the meteor shower there. Meant to be quite a few, an hour. Fingers crossed we're going to catch it. This should be the exact part of sky in about 15 minutes or so. Fingers crossed we'll start to catch some of that action there. Good to have you in there. He applies a skepto literalist lens there, using science and discussion. And the latest news there is interesting. The inside knowledge. Oh God, where's it gone? Where's it gone? Inside knowledge on Rendlesham. So yeah, he's interesting. I think some of the, I don't get a lot of his conclusions. I'm not really on board with that, but I think some of the guests, some of the odd theories he has are quite interesting there. He has he's the archetypical mad scientist there, but he has a hunger for the truth, which makes him a formidable. You're very right there. Right there. Don't click as problem at customs there. There. Let's have a look. We're up to date there. Now, let's quickly pop back over to the TikTok, see where all of you guys got up to there. Got to there. Let's scroll and catch up. I'll take you in the post after the live there, even just to know what it is, if it's not alien still. We've got to question it. So many people will write things off just because, oh well, it probably isn't, is it? And look, statistically, most things are going to be explainable. As far as we know, we're the dominant and most prolific species here that makes the most things. Most of the things that we're going to see in the sky tonight are man-made objects there. They're going to be man-made satellites and things like that. This is just statistically most likely, but it's not going to be all of them. And if we don't look and we don't hunch, we are never going to find that treasure. We might spend all of our lives digging up sand under palm trees on those distant desert islands and not find the treasure, but if we don't, well, then we're guaranteed to never find it at all there. Do you follow UFOs around the world? I do follow them, but I don't see a lot of it. I'm not on TikTok that much. I'm more of a YouTube consuming guy. But somebody, I think he's been in the chat a few times. Yeah, I did. What I have seen, yeah, I quite like. There was some funny stuff. He did some round. I think it's round 3 Atlas. He was doing some like satirical stuff with it there, and I thought it was quite funny. And I didn't get it straight away. It was quite funny. And Atlas was a probe or an alien spacecraft of some kind. It may well been. It may well have been. I think the thing that really stopped me going full on with Atlas was that just the amount of material it was off-gassing. There, it was shedding so much material. I couldn't think of a legitimate reason why anything technological in nature would shed so much mass at all, you know, there. But there are still potential explanations. And so you've got to keep these things open. So I've not gripped around it tight. It's a soft-held belief there. And Robin, if you want to see something unusual there in the sky, you need to go out and see if they choose you. Well, that's very interesting. There is, isn't it, like the CE5 and all this sort of contacting stuff around that sort of consciousness connection there. There does appear to be, you know, if you're out there and you get yourself in the right state and all that sort of stuff, that you can increase your odds of having an experience like that. And again, that choosing you is probably a good part of that. There, we occasionally take the show on the road. Now, this camera is about 10 meters in front of me outside my house, and I'm in the nice inside, the warm, the green room here, mainly because my neighbours would get sick of me talking like this until the wee hours of the morning. But we do occasionally take the rig on the road, and we do this from some of those UFO hotspots locally. We've got so we're based in Wiltshire in the UK, which is right in the heart of crop circle country and just down the road from Stonehenge. So there's a long history of weird and wonderful, and this little town had its own UFO flaps in the 60s and 70s. And they used every weekend, people would come far and wide internationally to go up the old Iron Age hill forts that surround the town. So occasionally, we meet up with some friends, and we'll go up and take the rig up to the old hill forts there and kind of get directly in with it there. And it is a different experience being actually out there with it. There is a level of detachment, even though it's live. It's just in front of me. I can move the camera, but there is a bit of detachment with it there. And iDream, yes, I caught your. How's it going? How are you doing, iDream? There, and the Meteors can be up to 100 an hour. Make a wish. I'm hoping that we start to see some action pretty soon for that. But you're right, yes, it should be a good shot for the Meteor activity there. And Righty, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight? Guys, if you are just joining us, I say we're doing a live UFO UAP Skywatch tonight. We're coming to you live from Wiltshire, right in the heart of crop circle country. Lots of strange and anomalous things in the night sky tonight. So keep your eyes on the screen there. We're training our tracking software, and it is struggling a bit, but this is how it's going to learn. So sadly, we have to tolerate that. It looks a bit like Star Wars, all those lines on the screen. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled, because it only takes one of those objects that we're tracking right now to stop dead, to change its course, its speed, its trajectory, something like that, and then all of a sudden we are seeing something a little bit more interesting than one of those many man-made satellites up there. The skies are very interesting. That is very bright tonight. Let's see if I can go outside and turn that one down in a minute. I mean, I know we're over the town, but we was over the town last night. Let's see if I can I move the thing up? Is it going to want to do it? Oh no, that's down. That's the wrong way. Come on, go up. Move up. Well, there we go. Ooh, shite. Sorry, guys. There we go. A little bit darker. Let it catch up there, because that's the light from the town polluting and getting in there. And Paul, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight? There. And gaming tonight, so we'll just be listening. No worries, Ben. Be a winner. Let us know how you get on there. Thanks for hanging out, though, with us. Right, let me just check where were we over on the Tubes chat, because I am running chats across multiple streams at the minute, so I bounce between the two there, so you have to give me a second and I'll get to your messages there. But do say hello, let us know where you're all watching from tonight there, and if you've ever experienced something strange, would love to hear about that. This middle one that's coming out, right, that's got a nice big bright one on it, that line, so keep following that and it should be there soon. It probably will lose the tracking because it is having a bit of a struggle. But anyway, let's check over where we are on the Tubes there. Where are we? There, and Adele there, and it was commenting on TikTok there, but they weren't showing or sending for some reason. And I remembered the screen is better on here. Adele, TikTok is a weird beast. Sometimes it filters people out. It doesn't tell us, doesn't tell them, and sometimes it blocks you. I mean, the amount of times we've got like a hate speech message and you go, what the hell are we talking about? It's a very strange platform indeed, but luckily that's why we are across multiple platforms. And if you do want to mix it up and you want to change where you are there, at The Thing UFO, Twitch, YouTube and TikTok are there. You get to see, if you're on YouTube as well or Twitch, you see the horizontal correct version. So we've got the camera, but if you're on the vertical, we're doing it like that so it fits it in, so it's kind of sideways, but you get to see a bit more of the screen there if you're over on those platforms there. It is a nightmare. I second that one, Mayor. There and Garnet there. Ashton Forbes is another good one on the YouTube channel. So he's the one, isn't he, that's mainly focusing on at the minute. Is it the MH370 potential being teleported? Now I haven't really gone on a deep dive. I've dipped into it and I can't see anything wrong with him. And what he's saying sounds very, very interesting. I think I need to go back to the beginning and kind of fully understand it because some of that science, it's well beyond me. It's not big. I'm not big brained enough, but it's very interesting. What a time that we live in where, you know, we can have all of these individual creators out there that are, you know, putting in the work, studying these things, understanding it, shining lights on areas that otherwise we just would never have answers to there. And beam me up, Scott E.T. How are you doing there? Yes, so this is our tracking software. We're training it tonight. It's a bit machine learning, or it's meant to be. At the minute, it's machine not learning at the second. And the idea is that there's going to be lots and lots of man-made satellites up there, and they're going to look very similar to the UFOs and UAPs. And the only real difference, the only way that we can tell from down here for sure, is by their behaviour, is if they stop dead, change speed, change their course or trajectory, because satellites are falling to Earth in a big circle, so they appear as straight, steady lines to us there. If we see a deviation from that, then we know we have got something a little bit stranger. And the idea of the tracking software there is that it identifies the movement and it plots and predicts what that path will be, the course of the satellite, if it is one. It follows the dot along it, and if it follows that consistently, it's most likely, or at least we couldn't prove otherwise, that it is a man-made satellite. But it should go red when there is an anomaly, and therefore drawing our eyes to that part of the night sky, because as we roll into summer there, it's going to get very, very busy. It's nowhere near as busy as it can get now. We're going to need all the help in spotting that we can get there. Most definitely there, Adele, and Harco's over there now. Let me scroll through here as, oh my god, he's all jumping ahead of me there. And as Ticker says there, the Warminster thing is what we're named after. Yeah, there was that UFO flap here in the 60s and 70s, and they called it the Thing because it had absolutely every part of the phenomena involved there. Landings, abductions, you know, movement, lights in the sky, strange sounds. That's how it started, actually. You know, missing time. It was a very, very interesting phenomenon. That's where we take our name from there. And let me scroll through there. Are you paying attention? Only just there, Zen. And Garnet there, I just remember I saw a meteorite, I think it was, in the 80s there. Never seen such a bright white light there, and a long tail streaming across the sky. I was the back of a push bike there. Honestly, when you see that nature puts on such a show, and I don't think I'd really even seen a shooting star, again, until moving here, I hadn't seen a satellite, the ISS, a shooting star, but when you do see them and you're out in the nature there, it's absolutely phenomenal there. And it's calm there from up in the Downs there. Great thing you're going. Thank you there, Carl, and welcome aboard. Welcome to our cosy part of the internet where we're looking out for the strange and anomalous. Have you ever seen anything strange up in the Downs there? We'd love to hear about that. Right, I'm switching quickly back over to the TikTok chat. Let's see where we got up to there. Oh my god, I'm a few messages behind. Just to give me a second to scroll up to see where I was there. M to the C, loving the stickers, how are you doing? Thank you for the shares. It is the likes, the shares, the tapping away, guys, all that sort of stuff that helps us reach more and more like-minded people there, like yourselves there. And Bougie, do you... Oh, no, I've done that one. How did I miss the previous message then? I Dream, there we go. And Kaya, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight there? Oh, and the other 18 anomalies. Oh, you do the CE5 work. See, that has been on my list for so long, and partly we don't do a lot of the on-location stuff, and I want to get more confident in doing that before I experimented with it. But I think partly I've got a little bit of a block, because I'm like, but what if it really works? And I hear that it is very effective. You know, a bit of a be careful what you wish for. At some point I'll get brave and we'll start doing that on location there. And Paul, thank you for the follow as well there. Daniel too, thank you for the follow there. Where are you guys joining us from tonight there? And Leeds, I have experienced a few strange things that I bet. So with the CE5 then, how consistent is it for you? I know a few others, like hey, up you do the CE5 as well, but I hear that it's really consistent at causing or bringing in the phenomena there. And OMZ there, these are Alpha Draconians, if this is Stonehenge. So this is near Stonehenge. It's not just, we're at 15 minutes down the road, so it's the same sky essentially. But a lot of these were going to be man-made satellites there, and that's what we're keeping our eyes for. That anomalous movement that could be linked to something being a little bit stranger there. And where are we? Grim, thank you for the cake there. And Ben, thank you for feeding Alan as
thanks,
well.
Guys.
He appreciates that. It all goes back into the stream. Now, where are we in the... in the chat there, Righty coming in with the shares there. United is in, good to see you there. PTSD, this really, thank you. And I mean, it's a difficult thing there. And Kate as well. The view on YouTube is a good one. It is actually, and it's round the right way. You get to see a little bit more. My little green box is much smaller as well there, so you don't have to see as much of my face there. And the Alpha Draconians are responsible for the East Coast sightings in the UK. That sounds very, very interesting there. So what are the Alpha Draconians? Are they like a classic extraterrestrial? Are they from that part of the sky, the Draconis sort of constellation there? Is that where it's pointing to? Tell us a bit more. I'd love to hear about that. And you can see distortions in image quality around GOP. Now, yes, you can. 100%. For a long time, people have been complaining about the images of potential UFOs that have been captured, going, oh, have you taken that picture on a potato? But there's many things at play. Firstly, from my personal experience, when you're faced with it there and you're trying to film it, it's such a moment that you are quite distracted and therefore going to take a bad video. Also, most of them are at night, and therefore, you know, even in modern technology, night imagery is very difficult. I mean, it's a nightmare to get this as good as we can. But the other thing is that their propulsion mechanism, and this is probably the most important there, their propulsion mechanism may actually cause a lot of those visual distortions and things like that. If they are using a warp drive as expected there, and how we understand physics, that means it would bend the light around the craft, therefore distorting the image, blurring it there as well. Also some atmospheric effects to consider, and they are apparently seeing this. Some scientists have kind of done the maths. What would this look like if this technology is being used, and overlaid it over some classic and modern day UFO videos and images there, and they are apparently seeing it there. And what do you think about the Chris Bledsoe prophecy? Oh, I don't know with the Chris Bledsoe. I'm very interested in it. I think there's something to it, but the detail on it, I struggle. In fact, with everything, I struggle with the detail. I'm in broad senses, I'm like 100% there's aliens there. Top 90s that they're visiting us, but as soon as we get more specific, like an individual abduction case or an individual prophecy, I get less confident. And that's not necessarily because of the individual or their story. It's just that I'm a firm believer that whatever is going on there, we, at least currently as humans, probably don't have the language to fully understand it. So any attempt at interpretation is always going to be degrees of truth rather than a binary truth or not. So a lot of these things, I think there is a fire to that smoke. But would I say like 100% where any of those interpretations come in? It's a very good point there, Bougie. I mean, Chris Bledsoe as a person, I like his experiences. They are absolutely fascinating, with the lady there and the idea that, you know, there is going to be this, what was the words on it? Because I will get it wrong, and I think if you get it wrong, it's not going to be helpful for the conversation. But it's along the lines of like a new information, wasn't it? A new knowledge is due to be released there. And obviously there, which are emissions of propulsion engines. Oh, what's the first part on that one? Oh, the distortion. Yeah, well, so this is the thing, part of their propulsion, it may in fact cause those distortions and things like that. And Stanley coming in with a follow, thank you for that. Where are you joining us from tonight there? And Serena, thank you for your patience. So what we're seeing a lot of tonight, let's zoom in on a few of these. It takes me a second to get around the chat.
Zoom mode activated.
Right, there we go. Let's zoom in on this one here. So, for example, this one here, this is most probably going to be one of the many satellites up there, man-made artificial satellites, whether they're our communication satellites, spy satellites, you know, Starlink, all this sort of stuff. There's a hell of a lot of them flying around up there in the night sky. And at this time of year, with how far the sun is around at night and things like that, there's a lot of that light, although it's dark for us here on the surface, that can still reflect off of those objects. So anything up there, be it ET, be it a man-made satellite, is going to look very similar to us there. So we're trying to watch them all, pay attention, follow them across the screen, because if it does something strange, satellites are following rules. They're falling to Earth in a big circle. So if they deviate from what to us is a straight path at a consistent speed, then we know we definitely don't have one of those satellites. If we keep paying attention, we'll see a couple that just don't fit that explanation by far. So keep your eyes peeled, keep following them across the screen for as long as you can. The tracker is still learning. It's trying to help us out a little bit there. Guys, if you're just joining us here, we're doing a live UFO UAP Skywatch tonight. Country live from Wiltshire in the UK, which is right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stonehenge there. So do give us a follow, subscribe wherever you are. We do this basically every night. So clear nights, we do this. Cloudy nights, we do an alien or radio signal hunt there. We search what's called the hydrogen line, and that is the channel on the radio dial where scientists theorise that if ET is out there, that's where they'd put the message. It's where we've heard signals like the wow signal before. So we're always looking for something related to the phenomenon. We want to see you on board for that one there. And Robin there, your thoughts on the David Wilcock, Wilcock mysterious death there, and 11 others, all connected to the UFOs. I think at least a few of them. I don't think it's going to be the full number, but I think there's now more of a pattern than there is just correlation here. I think there is something coming to that. We know this is exactly the sort of stuff that the shenanigans that the old intelligence services have played before, so I wouldn't be surprised at all there, however much a shame it is that they've done it. I don't think all of them are going to be caught in. I think there's a couple that do fit in the lines of there are plausible explanations for that, but even then you don't really know, do you? But I do think there's something going on, and that is evidence of some of it. I think there. Oh, and if you practice CE5, I think it's more consistent and controllable. I suppose like any sort of skill, you're building the muscle there. And like, why do you think that they come and they respond? Is it that they're actively seeking like a direct connection? Because some people have thought of it as more of they're more automated, and therefore they're always going to show up if you send the signal. You're tricking their algorithm into showing up, some people have said. Other people do think it's more of like a direct conscious relationship. They're beings coming to visit people that are open and ready for that sort of thing. How do you fall on that one there? And DJ coming in with the shares, I appreciate that, guys. It is the shares, the likes, the tapping away and things like that helps us reach more and more like-minded people like yourself there. Oh, and magnetic warp drive. So magnetism is an interesting one. That was one of the early theories of how it could all work as well there. And how you doing, Ian? We're all good here tonight. We've got a lovely clear sky, and hopefully you could have a lot of meteors as well there. Keeping that sky very, very busy for us there. Ben, DJ there, and Carl and Kate.
Nom nom nom, thanks, guys.
Thank you for feeding Ellen. All the gifts and subs go back into the stream there. And Amis there, I communicate with them while I watch videos like these, and they identify in a real time for us. Oh, that is pretty cool. Interesting. Tell us more. I'd love to know a little bit more about the background of that, because I don't have a lot of information around that sort of thing. So if you're willing to share, we'd love to hear about it. Oi is in. How are you doing there? And tapping is capping. I forgot about that, Bougie. And Rowan there as well. I see light pollution on the left, and I hate the light pollution. Rowan, 100%. We don't normally point the camera to this part of the sky, but we are trying to catch the meteorites tonight there, so it's a little bit brighter than it normally is, but hey, we can still see the activity, and hopefully we're going to get that meteor shower in soon as well there. But you're very right, we are over the town now, that's why it's a bit brighter there. And D there, do you do radio? So I work in that sort of area, but I don't actually host or anything like that, but it must rub off on us there. My best Alan Partridge impression there. And Toucan, how much did it cost you for the whole thing? That's a layered question. You can start with a lot less, but I mean, if you take the streaming stuff into it as well, then it gets really expensive. Really, the cameras are the most expensive part, really. So it's how much is a camera going to cost you? That's the lion's share of it there. But you can get started probably for about $1,000 for this sort of thing there. And he's a fraud, is Wilcock, and with that other guy. Isn't Wilcock the one that's passed recently as well? And because I don't know of him outside of the recent one. And oi there, is it just me, or does there seem to be a lot of space junk coming down this year? So apparently, yeah, there is a lot more meteors statistically have been reported. There is something going on, and it's also looking like that they're not coming in the normal sort of ways. It's really thrown the astronomical community for a bit to explain that one. There is a little bit of something going on there. Oh, and out there, you lost connection there, the CU5. Sometimes you get no response, and sometimes we see lights and moving above us. How many times do you think you've done it up there? And would we know if they're talking talking each other's military sats out, and that's what they're calling junk? So that is something that's definitely during the Cold War was a big thing, and they are actually starting to do that. So previously it would have been sort of a kinetic weapon, launching a space missile or object up there to physically damage the craft. But now with the way it's working and how easily in comparison they can get things up in orbit and control them, they're actually and they're telling us about this. We know that it's obviously much more advanced. They're actually able to fly a satellite up to another one now. It's still tricky, and de-orbit it there or interfere with it and things like that. So yeah, that is definitely a strong possibility of what could be going on to some degree there. And my Wi-Fi signal went off for a couple of minutes there, which is weird. Very weird. The signal going off rather than just being bad. That is very strange indeed there. And other times the C5 I only get images in my mind. So is that more consciousness connection there, excuse me. YouTubers, give me a second, I'll be over to you there. I'm just finishing up the TikTok chat. I'm running a few tonight, but I'll be back over you guys shortly there. And Rachel's in the house there. If you don't mind, just feeling a bit, sorry to hear that one, Rachel there. You're more than welcome just to hang out here in the chat there. If you don't feel like it tonight there. The T-Craft, what's that there? And Bridget, the guy from Gaia TV, Corey Good, is he the secret space program chap there, which is like 20 years on, 20 years off? That for me is quite a bit of a reach, that one there. Probably 15 times, quite a good number of times there, up. I do need to get into it, but I'm a bit nervous of it there. I might need to spend time with my sister for a couple of hours there, because that is really bad. Your message, Rachel, yeah. I mean, you've got to do what you need to do. Get yourself into a better, better space there. And that guy from Gaia there, Unsliced, so and that guy from Storage Wars did today. Oh my God, really? As well? I mean, that is terrible news there. Regardless of the content there, that's not, is it what we want for people? There. I lied and got caught along. That could be playing a part of it, maybe? Guy said, if you're just joining us, we're doing a live UFO UAP Skywatch tonight there, coming to you live from Wiltshire in the UK, which is right in the heart of crop circle country and just down the road from Stonehenge. So, very mysterious and active skies tonight there. And we're seeing a lot of objects, so keep your eyes on them. We haven't had an anomaly yet, which is actually quite strange. Normally we get a lot more, but it is very, very busy, so we might just be missing it in amongst all of the noise there. So keep your eyes peeled and to the screen there, and do say hello in the chat. Say, it takes me a second to get around to you guys, but once I'm there, I do want to hear what you've all got to say. If you've had any questions, fire away. But if you've also had an experience with the phenomena, do ask away there. Right, oh my God, I've missed quite a few on the tube. Sorry, guys. Let me get up to where I was in your chat there. Good evening all. I'm sat with Paul, and I'm having a cup of tea there, and introduced him to your channel there, Paul and Liam. Well, hello, Paul and Liam as well. Welcome aboard. We are welcome to the cool part of the internet. We hang out here surprisingly most nights. But welcome there. How do you feel, you guys, about the UFO phenomena? Are you open to this sort of thing? And there as well, Colin as well, 65-inch TV and stoned eyes on the sky. I mean, you need the big screen, the big real estate there. Hopefully you're going to be able to help us spot those things there. And calm there, eh? We got clear skies and lots to see and to ponder over. There is a lot in. If it goes like last night, we're going to have some fantastic accounts with the phenomena as well from you guys. We can all chew those over whilst we're waiting for the action to kick off on screen there. And the government inquiry into sausage on toast there is being better when you're hungry has passed the first vote. It'll only take him 10 years, Xena. And Starflower as well there. Evening, new here, just found the channel. Welcome aboard. It's very good to have you there. Interesting channel. Was just saying to my husband, I want to get a telescope there. Memories from being a child and watching from the UK. Well, very, very welcome aboard there. Good to have you in. So, fellow UK viewer as well. Honestly, the amount of people that have such pleasant memories of the night sky and, looking up there with telescopes and things, 100% you've got to get back to it there. I know personally as an adult, everything gets far too busy far too quickly, and I just didn't pay attention to not just the sky but nature as well. So moving to the country has been, for me, it's been a good forced sort of pause to these things, and I do feel better for it there. So yeah, get that telescope out, get it, and point it up to the sky there and see what you can observe. Even if it's not the aliens there, just the beauty of the universe is absolutely stunning to see there as well. But they do say, don't they, that actually since humanity got into the Industrial Revolution, because of the smog, the pollution, the light pollution there, we are actually so much more detached from our place in the universe. We look down, we don't feel part of a bigger system anymore. And I can totally believe that has had an effect on us as a sort of a cultural, psychological effect there. And Garnet there, the Arthurus Society are meeting 50... Hold on, where's that? Oh, 50-year anniversary on Exmoor there. Hill, I think, in June there. You have to check it out to place a date there. I still need to look into that one. I remember you mentioning it there. I do like a bit of Exmoor, Dartmoor. We do want to do a live Skywatch from one of the moors as well there. Might need Starlink for that one. And let's have a look. Let me scroll through the chat here. Ah, and thank you there. It's Crummer there. Good to have you in. I'd say where you're from, but I think your name gives it away there. Have you ever seen anything strange in the skies? Welcome to the club there. And Jolly is in. How are you doing there? How can the moon, an omnidirectional light source, have a dark side? It's not a light source, is it? It's a reflective, and it is. I think it's a colloquialism there, because it's not always dark. That's the thing. It's tidally locked to us, so obviously that dark side does get illuminated on occasion there. And sub, thank you for the sub there, Karu. And I was following the David Wilcock situation there, much closer than most there, and it was a very messy story. Oh, that is very sad to hear. You never know, dear, what is going on in the background stuff there. And Garnet there, Alan Moore from North. Oh my God, my chat is gone again, sorry guys, from Northampton, author there. Check him out. I need somebody to take notes for me, because I tend to forget when I come off the screen there, but thank you for the suggestions there. And what's the strangest thing you've ever seen there, Viking? So we on the stream, it's either going to be this big, bright, fast orange object, and the closest thing I can give it is a shooting star, but it was far too large to be a shooting star, it was a bit too slow to be a shooting star, and it didn't have a tail, so it just didn't hit the box in so many ways. But it was just far too big and bright and fast for a satellite, so it fell in this weird middle ground. But orange, reddy orange, is an interesting colour for the phenomenon, because that is one of the colours they think might be a signal of warp drive being used there. Ionized plasma surrounding the craft, glowing dark reddy orange to us. So that fitted in there, but we saw a triangular formation as well once, just kind of floating across the screen, blocking all the other stars out there. What else did we saw? We're seeing, when I was setting up one day, before it got dark, putting the camera out there, I saw what I thought was the ISS flying over, big, bright, fast, white object, and it was the ISS. And I went, wait a minute, it's not dark. I can't see any other stars or satellites or anything there. And then it went under the clouds, and lots of other people in the local area saw it as well. No explanation for what that was there. So I haven't had like the full-on, you know, craft where you can see the proper flying saucer silhouette there. I haven't met ET, but yeah, we have had some strange ones. Hopefully we can get more of those. How about yourselves? What is the best thing you guys have seen there yourself there? And blessed with the dark skies on the is it the Lean Peninsula? I'm sorry, I'm awful with the pronunciations. Do correct me there. So that, honestly, those dark skies, they make such a difference there. I said, moving to the country here from Essex, which is far more light polluted, it was such a shock, but a pleasant one, seeing how much you can actually see. And you could probably see a lot more over there as well. Have you seen anything there? Nathan is in as well. And Michael there as well. Too much cloud cover in the skies here, though hopefully it's not going to come down here for us for a while yet. We want to start getting those meteorites in. We haven't seen any yet, have we? There. And where are we in the thing? Let's have a look. Where's it scrolling through? And Colin there. Oh, everything is getting weird. It's always getting weird. You wait and join us for Movie Club. That's a lot weirder. Oh, there. Here we go. We got a flasher. We got a flasher. Tracking's trying to get it.
Zoom mode activated.
So this one here, it's gone faint, but this just flared up, so it's worth tracking there. See if it's going to do it again. It's flared a bright orange. Now, if it is just the one flare, that can be a satellite. If you imagine as it's going off on its arc, just at that right point in the middle there, it can reflect that sun back. But if it flares multiple times, now that implies something a little bit different there. So as I zoom back out, keep following it and keep your eyes to see if it is doing something strange there. Oh, another one coming up there as well. Brad, thank you for the roses as well. All the gifts, the subs, the super chats, the like does go back into the stream there, helping us improve what we do. Let me... There's my mouse. Fighting it across multiple monitors there. Oh, I can't even pronounce that one, but a great standing stone there. I was surprised about how many we actually have. Stonehenge gets all the credit, doesn't it? But there is so much from that age there. And Sandra there, hi, just come across your channel there, and I'm watching you from North Wales. Welcome very much there, Sandra. It's good to have you in. Have you ever seen anything yourself? Because Wales has such a history with the phenomenon. That was one of the things that surprised me in doing this, was I thought, you know, the UK, generally speaking, so Northern Ireland, but we'll include Ireland, not part of the UK, but as we're all close together, you know, Ireland, Northern Ireland, Wales, England and Scotland, remember eventually that, I thought it's going to be a roughly equal distribution there. Maybe we'll get more English people in and they'll have more sightings just because there's population-wise there's just so many more. So you'd imagine an equal spread. But no, it hasn't been. It's been Ireland, Wales and Scotland, disproportionate there for the amount of activity. Now, is it because there's, you know, less of a population density in those places, so therefore there's just more opportunities to see the things? Are they culturally more connected? But yeah, lots of encounters and lots of the phenomena reported. So we'd love to hear about that as well if you've ever had an experience there. But very much welcome aboard. It's good to have you all in there. And currently there, Ashdown Forest has a Bermuda Triangle. I didn't know that. Whereabouts is Ashdown Forest there? And Fred, was it Fred? Yeah, I think it is. My eyes are playing up. What's the green lines and the red lines? And what's the difference? So, brilliant question. I haven't done my introduction for a while. So, I'm going to start off. First of all, guys, welcome. We're all doing a live UFO UAP Skywatch tonight. So, we're currently live from Wiltshire in the UK, which is right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stonehenge. So, we're looking out for the strange and anomalous in the skies, and they are alive with activity. You've seen a lot of movement already. But if you pay attention, we will see the strange ones. So what we're seeing a lot of, in fact, just as we're doing this now, I can't see any movement on the screen to give an example, but essentially there's a lot of objects up there within the upper atmosphere, low Earth orbit, that sort of area. Lots of satellites, man-made satellites, you know, spy satellites, communication satellites, bit of space junk too. But all of those objects that are flying around up there at this time of year, the sun, even though it's gone around for us on the surface, those objects off of the surface can still get a direct line of sight with the sun and bounce that light back down to us. So that's what we're seeing, those things flying around up there. Now, ET, flying from A to B in a straight line, and a man-made satellite are going to look pretty similar to us there. They're going to reflect the sunlight and the back in the same way. Their movement profiles are going to be the same. So what we need to see to help us tell the difference is the behavioural change there. We really need ET to realise he's left the gas on, do an interstellar handbrake turn right on the screen there, right over the camera. Now, obviously, we're asking a lot. Most of the time, ET is going to fly in a straight line, but in those cases, we just can't tell the difference down here. But there are a lot of occasions where we do see this strange behaviour there, which immediately cannot be a satellite there. So they have to follow the rules of physics there. They're falling to Earth in a big circle. Here you go, we've got one now. So we're looking out for that anomalous behaviour. Here you go, here's two objects moving side by side there. Tracking along. Now again, if they stay on this straight path, this straight course trajectory at a consistent speed, it's probably just a man-made, or two man-made satellites up there. There's a hell of a lot of them up there. But yeah, if it changes from there, if it deviates, if it acts a bit weird, then we are looking at something stranger. But the tracking, this is what we're getting to here, as you just see it pop up there. This is trying to help us because the skies are very busy, and as the summer comes on, we're going to have occasions when there can be like 15 or more items on the screen. So we're building this tracking software. It's a bit of AI, so it needs to learn. That's why it's getting it wrong, as it will with these, but it's decided to identify that movement as it's done here, highlight it, so we can just see a little bit more of an accurate picture, because they're quite faint, you're not going to necessarily see them all, so this helps us identify them there. And then what's happening is it's using the path that it has tracked it along behind it there to predict a straight path in front of it, the dashed line. That's where it predicts it's going to be. And this one, you can tell it's getting further away, it's not done its job very well. But what happens, or the idea is that if that follows the predicted path, that straight line, then it is probably just a man-made satellite, so it's green there. But if it deviates from that path, then it's meant to highlight that to us, because it could be something anomalous there with the red. Now it's learning, so it's missing objects, it's losing objects, and it's getting those paths wrong, and therefore but there's a big bright one coming in up here as well. That's a nice big bright one there. If it doesn't get that alignment just right, you see that gap starts to deviate, and then it thinks it's anomalous, so it needs to learn that as well. But you know, the AI revolution isn't here yet, as you can tell. But yeah, this should help us identify some of those objects a little bit easier, especially as those skies get busier there. So it's a brilliant question there, Fred. Where was we in the chat there? And Viking, watching from Denmark, good to have you in. How are the skies over there? And Rando is in as well. Oh, potato. Thank you, Brad, for the potato face there. Always humbling. Appreciate that. All the gifts, the subs, the Patreon, super chats do go back into the stream there, helping us improve what we do. No down the pub. Where are we? Let me scroll through, make sure I'm not catching up. Where are we in the chat? No Raf tonight. Where are we? Definitely there. And hi, I'm Nigel from Holbage in Lincolnshire. Excellent. Welcome aboard, Nigel. It's good to have you in there. How do you feel about the phenomena there? Raf, there you are. Right, I'm off. Wait a minute. When did you join, Raf? I didn't even see you join. Raf. Where are we? Let me have a look there. And Colin there, Scotsman, checking in. Your guys are very, very alive there. Welcome very much aboard there. And Garnet there, the Newgrange, what a place there. They film the solstice in Ireland. So Newgrange, again, that is one of these, is it, Iron Age is the wrong one, isn't it? Like Neolithic, sort of. It's anyway, very old, ancient, massive structure there. You know, Stonehenge gets all the credit, but Newgrange is a phenomenal site, and it's a bit older as well, isn't it? Some of the theories on what it could be for as well are very, very interesting there. And Dan is in as well, evening from Newcastle. Good to have you in. And Nigel there. What would you do if you see a UFO land? Now, good question and good specifying there, landing. So we see these objects on screen, and when we get those real big Eureka ones, I'm mouth agape, silence, which is obviously a rarity. But I normally swear. Now, if we saw it land, if when we're doing this on location, as we do on occasion, we take it to some UFO hotspots and you come with us, I'd be very scared. I'd go full Scooby-Doo. Like, sometimes we've been out there and I have been spooked, and yeah, I want the experience, but I also kind of am a bit worried about the experience. Be careful of what you wish for and all of that. It's a very good question. Some people have fantastic experiences with the ETs there, the extraterrestrials, the craft. Some people not so much there. And Fred there, okay, so the red line means that something is different, I guess. Basically, yeah, there is something about that object that it is not following the consistent path or the consistent speed that a man-made satellite has to follow. Now, at the minute, most of the time, that is going to be because the tracking hasn't got its initial calculations correct there. So it's thinking it's seeing a difference when really it just got the first number wrong. Just like our physicists, mainly with string theory. But do keep your eyes out. And it will get better as it learns there. How you doing, Rob? Good to see you in. Now, where are we? Back over quickly to the TikTok. Let's check up on you guys. You've been patiently waiting there. Damien, DJ, Ben, Carl, Neil, hello. Enza as well. Neil and Brad again. Thank you guys for the gifts. I appreciate that. Gifts, subs, Patreon, said it all goes back into the stream, helping us improve what we do. Now, let me quickly scroll to the top there. And imagine we are here and it's an alien invasion coming. I mean, we're seeing it on the screen there. When Starlink goes over, that's what we always joke, because a Starlink, when they're close together and they've just been launched, it is like it does look a bit like an alien invasion there on the screen there. And my dad used to say there's nothing out there and it's all here. That is a possibility. Well, I wouldn't say that there's nothing out there. I mean, even mainstream scientists now, the main consensus is that life is going to be pretty everywhere. Now, is that intelligent life? Is it visiting us? They're interesting questions. But life will be out there, just statistically. Because back in the day, they didn't know that there were other planets around all these other stars that we're seeing. We just didn't know. It was in the 90s that we detected our first exoplanet, and now that's really coming on. And the more we're seeing is that pretty much every star, if not all of them, are going to have multiple other planets around them there. So just statistical odds, there's going to be life. But what does that life look like? Is it complex life? Is it a civilization there? You know, they're the questions that need to be asked. I lean very much to that there is life, and it is visiting us there. But there are some interesting questions there, so I wouldn't write it off there. I can understand the angle there. And Mr. Mangu there, I seen an alien. I'd say, would you like a cup of tea there? Like the Beatles Out episode. I mean, there was one guy that got water for aliens in his story there, and they gave him some pancakes that tasted like crap once. So you never know, you might be like that. And hi, Nigel again there. Have you been to Cannock Chase Woods there? It's got a very scary place. I haven't yet. It is very much on the list there. And Rob, thank you there. That's very kind of you to say. Great channel there. And thank you for the super chat. Again, very, very kind. Appreciate that. And it said it does help us improve what we're doing here. So very much appreciated there, Rob. Thank you there. Right, I'm going to get back over to the TikTok because I was trying to find where I was in the chat for you guys. It keeps scrolling ahead on me, fighting the chat. See where we found, so I don't miss anybody's messages. I think I was about here. We'll see there. Where's the first message there? And Wingmen Umzi, what was that for? I've totally forgotten now. Wingmen from Territri? I don't know that. Is that a planet or is that somewhere around here? There. And Kev, thank you for the follow. Good to have you in. Where are you joining us from there? And Bougie, I've missed my favourite live, and we've missed you, Bougie. And you've picked a good time because the skies are getting busier and busier as the seasons roll in there. So we're going to see lots of activity. The last week, oh my God, the amount of anomalous stuff that we have seen, it has been absolutely amazing. And it's only going to get better there. And only one Dino there. I seen some birds the other night flying in a triangle and passed by a moving object. Oh, very interesting this. You got the birds as a point of reference. Very interesting. What was the actual object? Could you just turn like a colour to it? Was it a light? Was it a sphere or something like that? And is this one, by the way? I shouldn't have assumed, actually, Bougie. I shouldn't have assumed. It's the ego. It's getting to me. Stardom. I love it there, Brad. And only one dinner there, near Stonehenge. We are near Stonehenge. I mean, I wouldn't want to walk here, but you know, we are just down the road. But then you're not that far down the road, are you, from many places in the UK? Very small country. Not too far from Glastonbury in the other direction, but definitely further. So very ancient and mysterious landscapes here. Any meteors, Pluto? Not yet, actually. And this is meant to be the right part of the sky, but not yet. I am very surprised. So they should come through thick and fast there. I feel weird for the last few days. How close did you get to it? And is it like a physiological ill, or is it kind of like a psychological, as in, I don't know, so it just feels a bit off? Because that would make a lot of sense, having an experience that doesn't quite add up like that. Your first experience with these things can be a little bit unsettling there. You know, it opens the door, doesn't it? Well, if this is true, what else is true? And where does it stop there? You know, if our understanding in the mainstream doesn't account for what I have just observed, how much by there? Intercity, how are you doing? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for the heart there. And obviously there, I am told Stonehenge is a structure, human built, for disc-shaped craft to land on. And that is, it does look like that, doesn't it? You know, this definitely cannot dispute it. It doesn't look like a mount, a stand for something. In fact, there is the Nazis over, I think it's in Czechoslovakia at the time, they had a facility where they were probably working on their sort of UFO weird program, the Die Glockel, the bell it translated to, and there is a test stand that still remains, a big concrete structure that looks like a big concrete Stonehenge, and apparently that was the test stand for this craft that was apparently, you know, able to do all these weird and wonderful things. Definitely a rabbit hole to go down, guys, there. And is that Ellen there, Lightwagger there, just the last month there, were one here in South Norway there, and it looked like a huge ship over house there. Phenomenal, but also a bit like ominous, isn't it? They're like, so was it like a traditional disc UFO shape, or let us know. That's amazing there. And even my delivery man looked up and he was in shock. I totally would be. Totally would be. And something spooked me in the garden next door, like my mind was being sensed, like the film Signs. It's possible. There are these connections. Like, we don't know a lot about it officially in the scientific realm, but we have observed the phenomena. We do know it's a marked real effect. We just don't know the causes and the mechanisms. Now, a lot of people outside of the mainstream science kind of are delving and trying to flesh out that space and put those understandings in. But I mean, for example, like, how many times have you turned around and somebody's been looking at you there? And totally unconsciously, we are there statistically. There is a difference there that we in some way do know when people are looking at us there. So how far can that go? If there is a wireless link there that isn't radio waves that can, you know, tell you that somebody's probably looking at you, what else is possible? How far does that go? If you strengthen that muscle there, and I want to go to Stonehenge, and I want to see a crop circle. Any tips there? So the crop circles, they come along quite quickly here. We'll be getting to crop circle season soon, but it's guaranteeing where they're going to show up and then kind of responding on time. I think there is a website. Oh God, what's it called? I think if you probably Google, you know, latest crop circles, it'll come up, but they literally post them as soon as they appear. I don't know how they get their information, but we had one just on the outside of town, literally on the edge of town, last year, just as I was trying to get this stream running, making sure the camera worked and things, and we investigated that, and it was really cool to see it, to be a part of it. But you know, it's a crop circle country is right in the heart where where Stonehenge is, all this sort of area there. So I think if you're just down in the right times, like May, June, July, you're going to catch something. You'll be able to catch something there. Wingman to the pairs there for that one. And Are they satellites? There's so many of them these days. Only one dinner. You are 100% right there. The majority of these, like the vast majority, are going to be man-made satellites. Hence why we're trying to track them and filter out the ones that are acting boring, plain old man-made satellites. I mean, I still find them cool to look at and surprised by how many there are. But we need to see them do something strange. We need to see them stop dead, shoot off at speed, change their course or trajectory. They're the interstellar handbrake turn. It's something like that that will tell us for sure that it can't be a man-made satellite, and then it's very, very anomalous. And that's what the tracker is trying to learn, trying to highlight the ones that act a little bit weirder, but it's got a long way to go yet, guys. But you're very right there. And good evening, you and the wife. Oh, well, we are. Thank you, InCity. It's good to see you, though. But how have you been? And perfect timing for the action tonight there, and lots of people in tonight there. Make sure you to like and follow. Thank you, Brett, for the ride. And yeah, guys, do make sure that you are you're subscribed, followed, whatever it is, and whatever platform you are in there, because we do this basically every night, and we're getting into the summer season where clearer, longer, well, not longer nights, shorter nights, but we're going to be, the time that we want to catch it is going to be just lining up just perfectly. These skies are going to be alive, lots of activity there. So yeah, make sure you're following, subscribed, whatever it is, you get the notifications when we go live. But it is pretty much every night. If it's a clear night, it's this, the UFO UAP Skywatch. If it's a cloud, if it's the moon's up, we do a moon watch. That's what that looks like. If it's a cloudy night, we do an alien radio signal hunt there. Listening out, kind of like the film Contact or that recent Apple TV series Pluribus there. We're always on the hunt there, but do say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. If you've had an experience with the phenomena, I'm across a couple of chats tonight, so it takes me a minute. I'll read through the TikTok, then I'll bounce back to the YouTube and vice versa there. But do say hello. Just give me a minute and I'll hopefully get around to your message soon. That is my favourite part of it all there, so I do love to hear from you. I love to hear your experiences, because that is what's really helped me understand the phenomena a lot more there and really paint that picture. Kate coming in with the shares there, because it is the shares and likes that helps us reach all of you guys. It's how the platforms know that people might be interested, and you never know who's going to come in and what account of the phenomena they're going to share there, or maybe it's their professional experience. You know, we've had people in work with satellites and things and been able to help us refine what we're doing there. Zach, what's happening? How are you doing? Hopefully it's meant to be a meteor shower, so hopefully we're not only going to have the anomalous, the satellites, and the beautiful night sky, but some shooting stars, which always look cool. So fingers crossed that's going to kick off for us soon there. And Paul there, do you know the best time to look out for? The meteorites tonight. So I think it's the wee hours UK time. Oh, there was one. Oh, please tell me, guys. Please tell me that. Oh no, TikTok. It was just behind me. I don't think you guys saw it. No, that's a good reason. So if you're on the YouTube and the Twitch, you get the full screen like that. You see a little bit more of the sky. But there was the first shooting star. It was just there to answer that one. So yeah, you get to see that. You can put us on the big TV there as well. But yeah, now it should be starting. We should be in the right place at the right time there. And Erin, is it? Oh, it's Ellen? Ellen, sorry, my eyes are awful there. And it was a triangle there shape. I took a picture and then filmed them there, and I have pictures going to. When you post those, Ellen, tag us in it, please, so I can see them there, because that is phenomenal there. And also, if it's your cup of tea, we've got a Discord community as well. Link in the bio for that one. Everyone's welcome to join, totally free. But we've got a really cool personal experiences section where loads of you guys are putting in your stories, your accounts, your images and videos of, like, you know, the phenomena that you've experienced. So you can add to that, and that way it doesn't just disappear. And the whole community, I know, would like to see that there, guys. It's open to everyone if you want to check those out. Lots of latest news and stuff on the UFOs as well. And as you've probably seen the little pop-ups there, we do a movie club, deep dives and things like that as well. And Janie, thank you for the heart, appreciate that. All the gifts, the subs, patrons, and super chats now as well, they all go back into the stream there, helping us improve on what we do. So where are we? Into the chat there. No, I've done that one. Thomas there, what did you think of the alien in Signs there when it go past the kids' party? Thomas, you know that one, I hate that. And I didn't realise at the time that everybody hated that. I've seen memes of it recently, and you know the scene. He's walking, and then he just looks around at the camera. You know, everybody knows that scene. And yeah, like I hated that. That really, and we watched that for one of our movie clubs. So once a month, we on the Discord, we have to watch it separately, whatever platform it's available on. But we all press play at the same time. It's normally 10 PM UK time, and then we chat along in the Discord as we watch through the films. And Signs was one of them there, and yeah, everybody hates that. Something about it. It was just something so eerie. It's very primordial, wasn't it? I didn't like that at all. How you doing, Janie, as well? And the Bat Be Freak. Good spotting. Sorry, I'm so far behind in the chat, but hopefully we can still zoom in on the good stuff. Keep up the good spotting there. And Ellen as well there. Thank you for the follow as well. And Nick's Rower, is the camera backwards? So it's not backwards, but it is sideways. So to fit it all in vertically rather than just crop it, we've turned it, you know, from that to that if you're on the TikTok or you're on the YouTube vertical. But if you're on the horizontal or on on the YouTube, you're getting it up the correct way. The tracking system is getting loads better. Thank you, Lee. I should say thank you to the tracking software. It's slowly getting there. There's still a few areas I need to tweak with it, but hopefully by the time summer rolls around, that tracker is going to help us improve, you know, our sightings and our numbers of anomalies there. And we had a good suggestion last night of maybe the anomalous flashing as well, because every now and again we'll see a flash once every 2 minutes, once every 17 seconds, whatever it might be, from the same part of the sky, and everything up there should be in motion, should be moving. So something that is sitting there long enough to flash back, that's also not one of the stars that's really far away. Very anomalous, very strange. So we're going to try and get to incorporate things like that as well. And Thomas, thank you for the follow there. Avery, very faintly. I wonder if anything's still there. I'm so far behind there, but keep up the good spot in Owsy there. I have recordings of non-Earth voices that I found on a radio telescope live feed on my page. Oh, very interesting. There's because that ties in with when we're doing our alien radio signal hunts. There, we're searching in radio there, hoping to hear a potential message from ET. There's a lot more science that goes into that one, and it's not as active for you know, getting the hits, but it is very, very interesting. And if you do get something there, you do get to be on the news, because they are very, very rare. But they do happen, these anomalous radio signals. Science will say there's no evidence for ET, there's no evidence for alien life, and what they mean is there's no smoking gun that has been proven 100%, but there is collectively a lot of individual evidence there that, you know, on its own, we need to do other tests, we need confirmations, fine, but there is just so much individual evidence out there that you go, come on, lads. Come on, there is some fire to this smoke there. And you saw one in D1, D2. Ah, yeah, you might have D1, D2. Oh, that's a good spot, and you caught that one there, Rachel. And Bougie as well. The reptilian experience was disturbing, and the others was amazing. I hear that with the reptilians. Now, was that, do you think, because there's a sort of a malicious nature around that particular type of being, or is it just that they're so different to us? Because a lot of the other potential, you know, aliens that may be out there, they're very humanoid, aren't they? They look like us, and some of those fairies, they could be us from the future or in the past. Maybe there are some weird, or evolutionarily us down the road, but maybe the reptilians they are just so different from us, so it feels very unnerving from like that point there. What's a super chat, Kate? So a super chat is YouTube's equivalent of the gifting. So but they don't, I think they do on the vertical, they do the gifts, but the super chat is normally like it's like a higher amount as a one big hit sort of thing. They do that version of it, and it's new, it's very new, Kate. I think it's literally, this is the second stream where we've been eligible for that. But thank you for anybody that does that, so it all does go back into the stream there. Kate as well, coming in with the shares. Is those shares, the likes, the tapping away, all of that sort of stuff, guys, that helps us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves. And if you are just joining us, we're doing a live UFO UAP Skywatch. They're currently live from Wiltshire in the UK, which is right in the heart of Crop Circle country, just down the road from Stonehenge. So lots of weird and wonderful things in the night sky here, lots of movement. There's a little bit of faint movement in the middle there. But also a meteor shower tonight as well. We've already just had one, so hopefully we can get more of a show in the sky for there. But yeah, say hello in the chat, let us know where you're all watching from, and I'm bouncing between a few chats. So I'll finish up here on TikTok, then bounce back to YouTube and see what you guys have been up to there. And Jonathan, thank you for the heart. Appreciate that one. Alfie is in as well there. And Bougie there. I have my own little mini spaceship controlled by my mind, and another alien body in purple and stringy there. So I'm trying to unpack that. So is that a sort of a consciousness connection, sort of? And Nick's there. Why are we? What way are we supposed to be looking? So we are currently looking east, northeast-ish, that sort of way at the minute. Hence we'll go a bit light pollution, pointing slightly over the town there. And gee, saw 15 satellites in 10 minutes about an hour ago. The skies are alive. Literally the first time, which is almost a year ago now, I got this camera working, got the lens right, pointing up to the night sky. We had 14 objects moving across the screen, and at this point I'd never seen a satellite even with my naked eye, and I'm going, what the hell is this? The skies are alive, but there's so many of them up there. And there's going to be so many more as well there. And back there, have you ever read the Dr. Jonathan Reed's Aliens as UFO video? I might have. I don't recognise the name. What sort of one was it? What went on in the video there? I might ring a bell for there and there. And have seen so many different. Not scared anymore there. And I'm a medium there. And it's a long story, but I said 100% would love to read that one there. And there is a big connection in our community of people that kind of have these extra sort of sensory skills there and associations like that. Myself, I'm not connected like that, sadly. But there's been some interesting things. There does seem to be a correlation. Our community often will there'll be groups of people that will complain about sort of headaches or pressures behind the eyes, that sort of stuff. And then lo and behold, there'll be something in the news related to space, whether it is a massive solar flare or an anomalous object flying through. There's been some interesting correlations there. Bougie coming in with the shares as well there. And Kate, I've got another Kate. How do you know when the meteors are coming? So, well, specifically, like, in the next 10 minutes, we don't know that down to that detail. But what's happening, generally speaking, is where the Earth is orbiting the sun. Around the sun, there's these sort of debris fields, so just patches where there's just like a lot of rubble sitting there in space, basically. Normally, like a past comet or meteorite has broken up and shattered, and it's like if you imagine somebody just chucks a load of bricks across a road. And then, you're driving along your road. Oh, I'm going through the brick patch, and that's kind of what's happening for the planet. So when they're orbit, we go through those denser patches, and that's why they're predictable. So we've got the one that we've got tonight. I can't remember what name it is now tonight, but we go through them, annually. A lot of the time, they're these denser patches, and as we go through, all of that detritus rubble enters the Earth's atmosphere. There hits the atmosphere. The friction causes the heat and those fireballs there, and it burns up. So we know generally those times of years, the days that we're expected to go through those patches. But to the minute, you can kind of give the window time-wise as well, when that part of the sky is going to be at night. But I can't know when the particular bit is going to come in there. We just have to wait and see. But we've already had one, so I think we're entering that patch now there. And what the was laying in the hot tub tonight there, watching the sky, and kept thinking I was seeing something flash. So you probably were. Now, man-made satellites can appear to flash, but it's a lot rarer than it used to be there by modern technology, the standards there, so it is less. But every now and again, you do see with the naked eye, did I just see a flash there? And this ties in with another phenomena that has been noticed in these old photographic plates of the night sky. All sky surveys back in the 50s, before man-made satellites, they seem to have detected the same thing. So normally people go, it's the satellites that are causing these flashes, but we have now recorded photographic evidence that these sorts of things was happening before anything man-made in space in orbit. There. They don't know exactly. And the other day, a meteor was lighting the sky, and they didn't know. There, we did have a really close call. I think it was last year. Like a sizable comet or meteor basically went between us and the moon. That's very close. And we only knew when it went, like that, when it whistled past us. We do not have a good understanding of everything. We're getting better, but by no means is it 100% do we know what's going on in our solar system, let alone in our orbit, and then even our own atmosphere. We do not know everything that enters and exits there. We just don't have that sort of coverage. They want you to think, don't they, that it's all covered. We'd know if somebody launched or landed. But no, we don't have that sort of coverage at all there. And they was lovely there with me, beautiful, but the snaky eyes, and later they tried harvesting you. So there's a little bit of manipulation going in there. I don't trust them. And Nasha there, where do I click for the Discord? Brilliant question there, Nasha. So link in the bio, so if it's TikTok or YouTube, on our main, if you click on our name, I assume it'll take you to the page there, and at the top you should have the information like a link tree with other links there. So the Discord is in there. So if you've got Discord, what should happen, you click the link, it should take you, open up your Discord app and say, hey, do you want to join the Thing UFO channel? Just go, yes. Some people do have a bit of an issue, and if you are having issues, it's not working, you copy the link text to www. whatever it might be, and you paste it into any browser, and then it works for some reason there. But we want to see you all over there, even if you just want to be quiet and just kind of watch along on the Discord there. You're for our movie club, you're more than welcome to do that one. Aaron at 2, the same question. Let us know once you've done it, if you've had success. If not, we'll have to figure out problem solving here. Some people do get put into I need to approve, so you might need to let me know, but I don't know why that is. And yes, in the weird stringy body smells like bleach and ammonia, and stringy bits are to combat inertia. The stringy bits, I've not heard of the stringy bits, but it's interesting thing how biology might be so strange there for these things that we haven't even considered there. But ammonia and bleach is a long history with UFOs and aliens, the connection with that as well there. And there's a lot of sensitives in the community. There very much is there. Against another correlation that we're drawing. It's not 100% by any means, but it's a more than, if I went to a knitting class, you're not going to get the same amount of people that are sensitive as there are in this. There is an interesting connection there. And only one that I've never cared about Discord and they need to download it. I think I was the same, Dino. Work made me get it. That was their primary communication. Right? My work has never taken my my phone number. It was only the payroll that took my address, right? It was Discord everything. So I've had it for 4 years and I've resisted it. I hated it. I didn't know what I was doing. It was like an old man messaging everybody at once with it. But doing it for this actually is quite good. So it is worth giving it a tackle, guys. We even brought Agent X over, didn't we, there? And Bogus Gasman there. Did no one see the shooting star in Scotland around 15 minutes ago? Oh, you're getting some action up there. We've got a few Scots in the house. Did you guys see it? What part of the sky was it in there? It's your prerogative, exactly. But that is a thing. There is a lot of subjectivity, isn't there, to the nature of the phenomena, and I get why people do feel very, very passionately about things, because we've all had our own experiences, and if you've had something in front of your face there, you're going to be pretty convinced of these sorts of things there. But at the end of the day, a lot of these things, there are our interpretation of events there, and we are only as good as our experience, our knowledge, the books, the culture that we've been exposed to explain and answer what it is that we're seeing. So I think we always need to allow a little bit of possibility to update our models and understanding, and that's what I love so much about this community, this stream, is that we get so much information and you don't have to take it all in, but together it does help us paint this bigger, more detailed picture and understanding of what could be going on in a lot of areas with the phenomena. But it always blows my mind if you think that actually this didn't start in the 50s with Roswell. That was the start of the modern day UFO movement. But you go back to folklore, you go back to the religious texts, you go back to cave paintings and things like that. If you break down the phenomena to its core events there, lights in the sky, little people taking people away, stuff like that, that's been going on the whole damn time. It's a very, very long time. Might be all of time as far as we know, but it's been described in different ways through the cultural lenses of each time, the best that they could do by their understandings to explain things. And it's really interesting that in the 50s, when we as a culture started to put men in space in metal, and so women as well, the Russians, but man was going to space there in metal spaceships, looking about other planets, considering going there. That is all of a sudden when we started to see UFOs, little green men from distant planets there. Whereas before they were interpreted as the fairy, the fae, taking you to distant realms, and people don't come back, don't eat the food, was one of them there. Same biblical earlier than that. I mean, it goes back, doesn't it? But that shows you how much in our cultural interpretations inform and how we understand what it is we're seeing, how we process all of that there. And anyone watch the new Bob Lazar movie? It's so good. Oh, and yes, and we are a big fan of it there. I very much enjoyed it. We are going to be doing, hopefully when they release that as a live VR experience, we'll do all that one together there. And by Beatrix there, they laughed at her star, but she proved them wrong. She did, yes, it's Beatrix Viroel. I always get the last name wrong. The scientist that actually looked into these transient objects there in those old photographic plates there, and everyone went, well, you're just seeing satellites. And you went, look at the date, and then they'll be like, people are so easy to dismiss. But not only this peer-reviewed paper, and there aren't any good suggestions for it, but also other observatories are now able to corroborate it by their own photographic plates. So there was definitely something going on, something up there. And Miska's there, the king, do you believe aliens is evil? A very interesting one. I wouldn't say by default evil, but I would say that we have to be cautious until we know for sure otherwise. And I would imagine that there are so many. If there's one alien species, then there's going to be loads. That's just how the numbers work. So I'm sure some of them will be, by our standards, considered evil. I'm sure some will be not. Probably a full mixed bag, but I would always exercise caution until we know otherwise. Very good question there. The lurkers are welcome. I'm a lurker. I wouldn't be chatting away, mainly because I can't spell. So I have to talk my way through there, and secrecy is a big part of it there. They have been here way before. Well, they could well have been. Maybe one of the theories is that they're sort of an earlier civilization. The way the Earth is, the fact that we have our weather, that wears and erodes things away, plate tectonics that recycle the Earth's crust and surface there. In theory, if there was an advanced technological species from more than a million years ago, we would have zero evidence. Nothing is preserved. So, they could have gone off and they could have come back, and there could be so many answers to it as well there. There's a nice bright one going across the screen there. It's gone red because the tracker screwed up its alignment, but it is still tracking at least there. And do you think people can contact aliens with baby monitors, just like the ones they used in the film? In principle, yeah, radio is quite a simple technology, and there's a good reasons why aliens would still use radio. We go into that on our alien radio signal hunt streams, but it is plausible. Now, they'd have to be local with the baby monitors there, because they're not very strong receivers with it, so the signal would have to be quite high. So over these distances, if we're talking about a signal coming from space or even a distant planet there, you need a big dish for that, and a big aerial, basically. It's a good question there. And obviously there, the Alpha Draconians are trying to control the entire universe with a newly acquired tech there. I mean, the actual politics of space would not necessarily be much different to the politics we have down here. You know, people on their islands or their planets, you know, they're going to have different interests, different priorities, different levels of resources, and sadly there's not many ways to figure that one out there. And Pepsi, thank you for the shares, but also for the follow where you're joining us from tonight there. And humans are cooperating with them rather than the benevolent opposition. Oh, is there a reason why? And Bradsky there, if I can find it quick. Oh, what was that for there? And the bat, if no one has heard of the Dr. Jonathan Reed alien/UFO video, the story, look at the story there, do yourself a favour. I'd be interested to know what one it was. I might have seen it there. And Pepsi there, but she works with Dennis. Yeah, we're lucky enough to have Dennis in, and Dennis he's an interesting chap. I can't remember his second name there, but he's the guy, part of the team there that found the Baltic Sea anomaly, and which is a very interesting object that has been scanned, detected at the bottom of the Baltic Sea, and it looks like the bloody Millennium Falcon down there. And there's some, again, strange effects around it. We really need to get more information on that. So Dennis himself is very interesting. There, we had him in the stream once or twice. It was very cool. There, Absy as well coming in, and Kate and Tony there with the shares there. And is that Oster as well there? Thank you for the follow. Good to have you in. Tony, the wow signal was no post art. Bougie, I am so 100% on that one. Some of the excuses, the ways that science will tie itself in knots with the ultimate Paul trick shot to try and explain away some of these things there. I second that. And Cribbage is in. Good to see you there. Thank you for the heart. Right now, back over to the patient tubers. Let's see where we got to with you guys there. And Captain there too there. Hello, saw a few weird lights last summer over Woodhenge. The sleepover in the car. So I haven't been to Woodhenge, but that is not far from us here as well. Tell us more, because that part of the world, we're technically this part of the world as well. There is so many sightings. There is so much activity, and then you get the things like the crop circles. Lovely. Yeah, tell us more. That'd be very interesting to hear there as well. The names had the bell. Yes, that's the Die Gockel there, the Nazi bell. Again, used I think, is it like rotating mercury as part of its propulsion? And oh, my chat has jumped ahead. Let's have a look to see where we were with this one. That was the one there. I need to print off a version of that there. Can't put in, yeah. Oh, you can't, yeah. I've given up. I'm trying to filter out the speech there. And Captain there, Sutton Veney last year. So that was the one that was just outside of our town. That one, the Sutton Veney crop circle, was the first one of the season, and luckily it was right on our doorstep there. So the trajectory lines are awesome there. Thank you, Rob. Hopefully it'll get more and more accurate. Like this one seems to be quite accurate. See if it stays on it.
Zoom mode activated.
See, like we actually managed to get it right bang on that one, isn't it? Look. So hopefully that'll stay green. It'll keep maintaining that track and only go red if it does something strange. There's another one that's popped up on the screen there. So if you are joining us, guys, we're doing a live alien raid. No, that's the wrong one. We're doing a UFO, UAP, a Skywatch, and we're coming to you live from Wiltshire in the UK, right in the heart of crop circle country and just down the road from Stonehenge. So a long history with the strange and anomalous in the skies. There's also a meteor shower tonight, so we're getting a little bit of a show from Mother Nature there as well. But keep your eyes on the screen there, because we've got these objects that are moving across. Most of them, sadly, will be man-made satellites, but not all of them there. And if you pay attention, every now and again, one of them will do something strange, something that a satellite just can't do there, like stop dead, shoot off its speed, change its course, its trajectory, the interstellar handbrake turn, and that is our eureka. That tells us that we're dealing with something a little bit stranger. So keep your eyes peeled on those skies there. Say hello in the chat. I'm a bit behind because I'm jumping between two chats, but do say hello and I'll get round to you guys in a minute there. And Eastern Coach Works there, half high from Suffolk there again. I've seen, good to see you, I've seen a full-on craft passing overhead, covering mass sky. Also, I've seen a grey in the flesh, and it was working on a field
fast, either taking soil or putting something in. Now, that is... What does that feel like? Like seeing that physical craft in the flesh with your own eyes there. Like I've seen the stuff on the screen there, but actually the outline of craft when I'm outside with it, I haven't seen it. And I think just be so awe-inspiring, but also a little bit stressful because of how spooky, like that there. But also seeing great. That's something that I just think predator prey instincts would kick in with me, and I'd be like, no. There. What is that like to experience that? George Adamski, I know the name there, UFO. He's had a book of flying saucers, a classic one there. And Hans Kalmar, director, has Advanced Weaponry Division. Are you doing recruiting there, Zen? And I think they're humans or bots from the future. That is one of the theories, actually, this extratemporal model. So it's not just extraterrestrials, other beings from other planets. I mean, there's a high probability of those, but if you look at the fact that most of the encounters that people describe they're very similar to us, like strangely similar. What else? Other than the lineage, of that we have developed from, there that looks like us, bipedal, heads on shoulders, all that sort of stuff. You look at the rest of the animal kingdom, it looks very different. So why is it that these distant extraterrestrials all look very same? Bipedal, heads on shoulders, arms, legs, that sort of stuff. Maybe they are us from the future. And evolutionary speaking, if we keep on our current trend, we could look like the classic greys there. So there is a good argument there. And if you are building a spaceship with warp drive, as we've established as well, that doesn't break physics, it is technically possible if you have enough energy there, then you're also building a time machine at the same time. So maybe indeed the P-52s. Oh, is that the winged craft there? The Germans developed during the end of the war there, because there was the fear that the first site where the term flying saucer was coined, the Kenneth Arnold one, may have been those being test flown, because he didn't actually describe them as looking like saucers. He described them as moving like saucers skipping on a pond. So that's where the flying saucers come from. But he described the craft as more of a sort of a boomerang, more of a flying wing, which could fit with recovered Nazi craft there. And Garnet there's a lot of planets in a line up at the moment there. I mean, there's just a lot there in general. But we've in our solar system there was like a full-on planetary parade recently, wasn't there? There, and it's very interesting there. David Bowie, the man who fell to Earth. Funnily enough, they're actually talking about planet. They're always talking about a planet X, aren't they? Like another planet in our solar system, but it's probably really, really, really far out. So that's why we can't see it, and it's that far, no sunlight to reflect. So they can kind of see the gravitational evidence of their strange tilts in other planets there, things that have been disturbed, the wake essentially behind the ship as the ship passes. That's what they're looking for. But the committee that is looking for that at the minute, they are strongly considering posing to name this planet, if they eventually do lock it in and discover it, to name it after David Bowie, which in all these Greco-Roman gods. And look, there's David Bowie there as well. And a lolly there. Hi, I am in Deal in Kent there. Lots of strange things in the skies here on a clear night. Also saw 3 bright white orbs moving silently above me in Wales last year. Very, very interesting. Could you kind of get like a height on those 3 orbs there? Because if that's low down, that is very interesting there. If that is like, not in the upper atmosphere, that is incredibly, incredibly interesting there. But yeah, Deal right along that part of Kent as well. It's an anomalous place there. Loved that, and thank you for joining us there, Lolly. And Zark is back in. How are you doing there? And Scooby Dooby Goopy there. Leonard Asteroid is currently happening there. Oh, Leonid, sorry, Asteroid. It is, you're right. We've already had one, but we haven't had a lot, actually, which is a bit disappointing. So hopefully we're going to have a few more as the night goes on there. But we are pointing in the right direction there. Anyone watched the S4 documentary? Yes, and it is amazing. I got a lot of answers, but I also got a lot of questions there as well. Oh, Scooby, the Meteor, yeah. And as Mayor says there, do feel free to give us a like or a subscribe, whatever it is on the platform that you're on there, because we do this pretty much every night there. So we'd love to see you in for that, and you get those notifications when we go live there. And is that Agino? Is that Aginos, man? There. Ghost of an old man seen running on the M25 near Potter's Bar exit about 3 a.m. The morning was a very creepy sight. I kind of had a sighting like that once, not on the M25. And I don't know if it was a ghost sighting here, but it was actually really eerie. But it was the middle of, I think it must have been like 2 or 3 a.m. It's that time of night where most people they're in bed. The streets are quiet, eerily still. I love that time. It's like stolen time. That, and I've got insomnia. But I was driving down. It's not a country road. You know, there were houses along it, but it is more rural than the area. And this was back in Essex there. So, yeah, definitely tree-lined. And absolutely dead, this road. Not another car on it. And I was driving down there, listening to music, going in a straight line. And as I kind of crested the hill and came over, this beautiful ice white stallion came towards me and over the hill, just like when they show it in movies. Right, and this was running in the middle of the road, no rider, no other people around, just running straight by. What the fuck? And just off like that, so majestic, so bright, like that. And it was, a horse could have escaped, but it was just so brilliantly white and so eerily on its own, running perfectly down the centre of the road towards me there. You go, maybe there, because that was an old bit of an old coaching road there, so it's definitely old enough for these things there. And NASA had 2 rockets sent to the ISS there a few hours ago there. Might see them. Oh, that would be pretty cool if we could. It was too cloudy for us to catch the Artemis one though. And Viking there. No, that was Viking. And what about Planet X there? We literally just covered the Planet X. So good, great minds think alike there, Garnet. And stop giving me nightmares talking about that. And a lossy there as well. I saw a great fireball near Newbury in Berks, one while driving on the M4 there, and it flared really bright. It is phenomenal. Have you ever seen the ones, the Chelyabinsk meteorite that came in from Russia? That was just full on. If that had happened, to me, I go, bloody hell, the world's ending. But it was so loud, the percussive explosion from such a large object. It didn't hit the ground, but the shockwave, caused a lot of damage, a lot of broken glass and windows. But just nature just is absolutely phenomenal. And in Earth's history, that was a much more common, and it's more common to get the big dangerous ones that probably reset not just life as we know with the dinosaurs, but multiple instances of life on occasion. Not crocodiles. They've been pretty chill. They've survived quite a few extinction events. But early man, there's a crater in France, such an old one that knocked out the French population. Not the French back then, it was all Neanderthals and things. But yeah, it affected populations, and it was something that early man has definitely had to deal with quite a lot there. And Colin there, you are making this stream there. The show was going down during humanity because it's the watchers there watching us do stuff. Hold on, let me read that one again there. This shit was going down during humanity because it's the watchers watching us do stuff there. I get you there. So the watchers, do you mean in the biblical sense, as in like you look at the Book of Enoch, they talk about the watchers? Because again, lots of cultures have different names, but they all seem to be describing the same sort of damn thing, and are we in our modern UFO language trying to describe the same damn thing? Hands out there, I read years ago that the moon missions saw craft and alien figures watching them from the lunar surface there, and the radio reception was cut, and the excuse was the sun was not able to power the solar panels there. Apparently anyone with a ham radio was still able to recover the signal. Radio is interesting when you need a big dish to receive, but I've heard similar things too, and a lot of the astronauts, they did come back a bit strange. And like old Neil Armstrong, he was very straight-laced, didn't really publicly express an interest in anything like UFOs, but also when he came back there, did privately look to help people and was involved in setting up some UFO research groups. It's very, very interesting. That one. We're going to do a series at some point where we are actually going to read through the transcripts from the moon missions, all of the stuff that might not have got aired, and analyse all of it there. It's going to be a long read through. We'll probably do that over on our Patreon, the deep dives there. And if you do want to join us for that one, or for, I think next Friday when we're doing the Condign report then, which is the part 2, but it's a very, very interesting UK report. We're going to be reading through it there over on the Patreon. We don't have to keep introducing what we're doing. It's a live stream. We can hear what you guys think as we read it along, but we really get into the meat of the UFO phenomena there. So you can join us for free there. It's got a link in the bio for a whole free month there, and we'll be doing another live on that one, but maybe we'll do the moon read through soon there as well. And Willow there, hello, evening, good evening. Have you seen the TV ET interruption in the news in the 1977 there? And it's on YouTube, and it was in Hampshire. That's area is a portal. Well, Hampshire, again, ancient history of this thing. So I remember that one as well. I can't remember, and again, I don't think they got anybody for that one, so it's definitely not proved to be as a hoax. But yeah, very interesting having that sort of stuff there, because there was another one as well. We had the one in the UK, but there was a very similar one somewhere else there. Loving that rocket there, Rob. Scroll up here. Where are we in the chat? there as well. Anyone watch David Politer's Missing 411 there? And oh, yeah, sorry guys, he keeps jumping ahead on me. I'm trying to scroll through, and then he goes, "Oh no, you want to be right at the bottom." No, I don't. Listen to my instruction. Where is it? Bloody thing. We're nearly there. There we go. All right. The story I read online said that before they went to the moon there with humans, they deliberately crashed a probe onto the into the Shard, a huge tower on the lunar surface. I think there were some interesting things afoot that we don't fully know about the moon missions. Definitely there, but there are what appear to be some structures. I don't know if we had high enough resolution pre-moon. It's only when we got those orbiters around it that we really get the details of some of those things there. And the missing 411 UFO connection is awesome there. I do think that, we look into the missing, there's going to be a connection probably with this, because it would make sense. We do that to animals in the wild all the time, don't we? We abduct them for whatever purpose as well there. And apparently a maintenance guy said he was supposed to call down the projectors that shone the live feed and saw the NASA scientists being amazed on the structure of the moon. So they did. This is one of the weird things about the moon landing, is rather than providing a direct feed from source as you would do through the wires, for the moon landings, NASA actually projected the feed, and that then the television companies pointed their cameras at that. And there's not really, as far as I know, a good reason for doing that. And folded clothes. Some of them are interested. I think some of the general missing ones, because I think doesn't old David Politis with the 411 point to a lot of Bigfoot stuff, and I have heard quite a few where the individuals that are covered they've been found, sometimes alive and well, and that kind of just put a little bit of salt on it there. Not to that the individual counts aren't interesting, but I think as the collections, I was like, man, I can't bother to do all that looking there. But very, very interested there as well there. And is that Dean Angel there? Or is it D? Yeah, Day Angel there. Sorry, what are those satellites? There's going to be a lot of them are going to be satellites there, but we're in particular looking out for the ones that act a little bit strangely, that stop dead, that shoot off at speed, that change their course, their trajectory. Anything like that can point to us that actually it's a little bit strange there, and it might be something a little bit more anomalous. Says keep your eyes on them and follow them across the screen there. And the scientist thought he was part of the NASA team there. And it's so cool. Yeah, Rob, it is, isn't it, seeing all this action on screen. And the ghosts of a red live lady seen crying in Highgate Cemetery. There, I do love a good spooky story as well there. And you're in a magical part of the world there, the Port Willow. I'd heard like ley lines and all that sort of stuff before, but it's only moving here and actually realising how different the landscape is and how that actually feels to be surrounded by that the whole time. I mean, Essex has its nice bits, but it's quite a flat landscape there, and it's been around a long time. There's always been people inhabiting there, but it's not got the same heritage, the same history as somewhere like this there. Oh, and it was online pre-2000 in the story about the first lunar mission. All very interesting. There is definitely some shenanigans afoot with the moon landings there. I do think ultimately we did go, but there are some interesting things. Definitely they keep certain things a secret from us there. And apparently the astronauts saw glass shards and huge structures that look like... I've heard something along those lines there. And I'll do a vlog soon. I'll explain what I saw. 100% Eastern. I want to hear about that. That's going to be pretty cool there. And anyone watched Peter Osborne's Orb on YouTube? No, I haven't seen that one yet. I don't know Peter. And anything on camera yet, Carlos? I don't think we've had many anomalies tonight, sadly, but I'm sure they will be coming up soon. We had a few shooting stars though. I just remembered that there is a video on YouTube and it's insane. The Museum of Alien Life. Oh, I've not heard of that one. Somebody link me that. And the ghost of a crying cat fighting with an alien in Wanstead Fields. Oh, poor thing got probed there. And deep into the orbs. I mean, orbs are a very interesting subject there. And as we've all heard, thank you, Mayor, for the hydration reminder, that I think, it's the orbs, a good part of that phenomenon is probably going to be the plasmoids there, the idea of intelligent, sentient plasma that's been with us here on Earth the whole time. would explain a lot of those sightings. Hello, Blue Nose, and thank you for the gift there. That's very, very kind. All goes back into the stream, and is it just me, or is that the bluish one at the bottom moving but very slowly? 100% is so, with the Earth's rotation, but these stars being so far away. If you actually speed up the stream, you drag that, you know, on the playback there, drag the controller, you'll see all the stars move across the night sky. And that one, guys, so TikTokers, I don't think you can quite see it yet. Hold on, where's my cursor? We've got Vega back into shot. So this star here, no, it's not. Oh, it's behind the gift goal for you guys. It's literally, you can just see it around the text there. That is Vega. Now, that was our companion for our stream last year. When it gets into the middle, it's really big. It's really bright and really purple. Absolutely stunning to see it there. First time we've had it back in since last summer. Where are we there? There, the numbers. Where are we? Having the chats. Let's read for this one. And I bet the James Webb telescope there has picked up on stuff they will never ever show. So very interesting that you say that, because I don't know specifically for the James Webb, but I think it would be very, very true. The same thing is, but they've got a new telescope coming live. This is the Vera Rubin. Is it the Vera Rubin telescope there? And they think that basically, but it's very powerful. It's going to tell us if there is, you know, those atmospheres around these distant planets so easily. It's going to be an amazing tool. But part of this thing is, and it's all public record, that every image that thing takes is immediately encrypted. It's not visual to the astronomers. It's immediately encrypted, sent to I think NSA servers, right? Then AI compares that image of the night sky to a previous one and goes, right, if there's anything out of place that doesn't match the previously, so different stars and things like that, it crops that out and then sends that image for review. And then once the approved image is done, it goes back to the database. The scientists can look at it there. They are purposely filtering it out there under the guise of national security, or in case you get a spy satellite on it. We don't want the enemy seeing what our spy satellites look like. But they do, and made the technology to be able to do that. But they've been doing it with another telescope as well. The one that caught Free Eye Atlas as well does that as well. But this technology, they're filtering it out in real time there. So totally there. And as Maya says there, remember to give us a thumbs up. We would appreciate, guys, the likes as well there, and a share or so, because that is how we meet you guys. It's how we hear your accounts of the phenomena. It's how we all understand this a little bit better with everybody's knowledge on all of the subject there. So we do appreciate the likes, the tapping away, the sharing that. But do make sure you are subscribed or followed wherever you are there, so you get that notification when we go live there. And Zark, they say the universe is infinite and endless loop. How can anything be infinite there? Going by what we know as humans there on this planet and the laws of nature, there has to be something outside of our comprehension. So Zark, so many things there, but yeah, like, I mean, everything that we're doing, all of our laws of nature that we're identifying, they are based on our human interpretation. And the likelihood that we have anything 100%, considering the fact that we don't even perceive 100% of the world that we experience now. We do not see all of the light that is coming from there. Human eyes aren't designed to see the infrared or the ultraviolet. You know, we don't hear the lower frequencies or the higher frequencies. So if we don't perceive all that, how are we even then going to build a model that fully, truly understands everything? Yes, we can have sensors on things there, but you're right, you know, we're never going to, I think, fully be able to understand the full wonders of the universe at all. But, you know, this is the thing. Like, what's the first part there? But the infinite part of it as well there, like this, it gets your head in a mess. Like, I was like, okay, well, what was before the Big Bang? All right, the universe is the biggest container. Everything that we know exists is the universe. What's the universe in, and what's that thing called? It bends my mind. But I mean, not everything actually works how we experience things. So we experience the world in a very general relativistic way there, you know, Einstein stuff, that, you know, gravity, I drop it, you know, cause and effect, that if I make a cake, put all those ingredients together and then bake the cake, it's a cake, and then I can eat it. But actually in the universe, with things like quantum effects and quantum properties there, the order in which things are done doesn't actually matter, and that is actually true over certain distances and time scales there. Like, the order of things doesn't have to be linear. The quantum world is insane to get your head around. If anybody says they understand quantum mechanics, they are lying. It means they have got it very wrong. Rob there, the government must protect their assets or dispose of them. I mean, I'm fine with a little bit of national security, but it's so easy for people like that to cover up too much, isn't it there? And I will, TikTokers, I know you've been waiting patiently and your messages are piling up. I will get to you guys shortly. I'm just finishing up here on the YouTubes there. I'm running 2 chats tonight, so it takes me a while to get across there, but it is good to see and hear from you there. People go missing because of the reptilians need those organs It's possible. It's possible there. And it's like we are fish in a universal pond. Probably quite rightly there. We are so tiny and insignificant around it all there. I would suspect though that if we were being harvested for like a physical meat sort of food sort of based thing, that there would have to be a lot more people that go missing there. Just look at our sort of consumption of things there. And it's just seen a huge blue spirit orb there next to your TV screen there. That is very, very impressive. I've only seen these objects like through the camera or when we've been on the lives on the hills, and I do believe. Well, I think there's a high likelihood, I'm not 100%, but we witnessed something when we was up there in person once. It was very, very interesting. Big, bright white light that appeared to be walking towards us. Now, it could have been a trick of the light there, but I couldn't see it replicated anywhere else when we were on that hilltop. No distant car headlights, no lamppost out in the distance. I thought at first that it was a dog walker with one of those like LED headlamps because of the way it was moving and coming towards us there, but then it just disappeared and kept coming back repeatedly later on, and it did my brain in. What was that? But it was so different to the objects there, so I imagine it's a very interesting experience there. Fishing upon for sure there, and where are we? I don't think that we're supposed to know all the secrets of the universe, and probably quite rightly, but we've got to do our best to understand a bit of it there. Check out how many people go missing every year. No, well, think of it. Think about how many people go missing, and think about how many animals we slaughter for food. You'd be able to guess a population size, because that could be another argument to this, that you know, maybe there's a very small population of the lizard people or whoever it is there and stuff like that. But you've got to look at the mass of it. We would notice if there was a massive farm, if it was a sizable population there. And then also you've got normal reasons of why people were missing as well. So you have to kind of move that one down as well there. You got the goosebumps down there. And Sainsbury's bag moment. Matt, you remember the Sainsbury's bag? Yeah, I got spooked up on there on the hill in front of all of you guys there. Very, very humiliating there. Definitely seen a fae, the white orb. Well, again, this was on top of an Iron Age hill fort, very ancient part of the country. They're long, you know, I mean, it was, again, Iron Age hill fort. It had settlements, dwellings. We know there's graves up there as well. So, I mean, yeah, right in the middle of it there. But we didn't see it the previous time there. But it was really strange. It was actually being there with it. It was, yeah, very interesting experience there. The McDonald's, exactly there. And user-friendly 11 for now. There, good spotting there. And look at McDonald's and how they make burgers. Exactly. But look how many cows it takes to make that. And obviously, I imagine, you know, lizard population probably not going to be as large as us there. But it seems like a very inefficient way, unless it was like a stranded colony. You know, like if it's the remnants of a struggling colony there, and there is, you know, we're talking in the hundreds. Then maybe that could account for that sort of way of harvesting it. Oh, space worm there. I mean, you never know. But yeah, the maths for me on that one. Where are we? In here as well. Joseph there, thank you for the heart there. Oi, oi. Dean as well there. Oi, oi again. And Blue Nose, thank you for all the gifts, guys. Appreciate that. All the gifts, subs, patrons do go back into the stream there. Oh, there's no cows involved. Well, there's some, but not much, is there? It's all of the connective tissue and all that sort of stuff, isn't it? It's but you need stuff in the process. It's not fully lab grown. You can tell the Amazon rainforest. Let's have a look there. I've still not woke up. Well, I mean, if you mean in the sense of I'm actually, yeah, still quite mainly in the camp of like the mainstream explanations for things. And I think that is the healthy way to be by default. Until the world presents you very differently and you've seen evidence directly for those sorts of things, then you shouldn't necessarily go off down the road for these sorts of things as well. But also, it's just a numbers game. You all right? You look pretty tired.
I have done questions for the quiz.
Oh, you're meant to do that tonight, darling.
They have to be done before tomorrow.
Well, yeah, but you might not be able to go tomorrow.
And
But thank you.
done the dishwasher. The bins are with stickers and stuff.
Yeah.
I have put only in his cage. I have got full.
That's cool. Thank you for doing that stuff. I know you feel very ill. Go and rest. Catch you in a bit.
And I'm gonna stay here Is that okay?
No.
I won't ruin the stream.
You will, because you've ruined my neck and that makes me go...
Everyone likes seeing me.
They do, yes. You can do a stream with them soon. Thank you, darling. Hope you feel better there. And how many burgers do McDonald's make in a day? Like, absolutely millions. Absolutely millions. And how many cows do they slaughter from international across the world there? Absolute ton of them. I think, how much was it? How much meat does like the average have a non-McDonald's? Because they do stretch it out there. But if you're talking, you know, like how many people go missing a year overall over the world, that's an incredibly inefficient way to harvest, isn't it? That, for me, it just doesn't, you know, part of it is cow meat. To a degree, you can argue about how much, but you know, it has to be by certain standards. There. Anyway, where are we over in this catch up? Where were we? Because I'm there. And aliens could have a much higher state of consciousness there. They would consider humans to be like ants in some respect there. And it would be like trying to explain algebra to an insect. I think that could be a very, very, very big part of it. A lot of what we've got, the issues, is that the way the human mind works and the way we store and process information is it's like a tree with the branches. Now, individual pieces of information are the leaves that you got hanging on the tree, but it needs a twig. It needs a stick, it needs a branch, you know, it needs to go to the trunk. If we don't have that branch and structure in place there, no matter what those aliens say, that leaf is going to fall down. But it's exactly like that, you know, with that interpretation of the phenomena going back the years and years and years. It's definitely, you know, like this thing, we have to filter it through what we do understand to kind of perceive it there. And I sense we are spirits having a human experience, their learning experiences. The Earth is a school for souls. I've heard that one a few times actually, when they're there, definitely. And that is true. Even the mainstream scientists are coming out with around their theories of consciousness that we are the universe experiencing itself, which is 100% true. We're definitely doing that. That is agreed. But also that we are sort of experiencing consciousness for a sort of headset. This meat suit is the equivalent of VR goggles there. Now I've got to catch up. I'm so behind on the TikTok, guys. Let's have a look. Where were we in the chat there? I'll come back to YouTubers in a moment there. Well, let's have a look there. They've been here way before us, 100% there. And oh no, I've done that one. Let me scroll. I've scrolled too far ahead now. I see that over 100 messages there. Followed us there. And Gribbage is in. That's about where we got to there. Bonkers as well. Thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us on tonight then, Bougie? I love just how much information and intelligence there is in this live. It's a melting pot of ideas. That is the thing, isn't it? It's everything contributing together, and you don't have to take all of the information there. That's not what the point is. But the point is that, you know, people are offering all of this up, and, you know, we can individually then select what we, you know, what makes sense to us, what fits in with everything else that we have seen there as well. So I absolutely love that one there. And pending for the Discord there, Tick. I will approve you in a minute there as well. And Jonathan there, we do very interesting anomalies there. Not natural, and looks like the craft to me there. Sometimes there are those very interesting ones there. Look, we've got a nice tracked one across the screen. I say that and it loses the bloody tracking. Doesn't seem to be learning now, does it? There. And the Diglockle is rumoured to have come down in Kecksburg. Oh yes, to the Kecksburg crash, which is, again, it's another really interesting one. Not only does the shape match up, and it's quite a unique shape, but the actual there are people from the town, the fire department, I think the police department, that reported the crash, seeing the craft. Then people that served in the military reported being at the crash site. There were even sort of guards on the gates of a local military base where they reportedly kept the wreckage that night after recovery that came out later. And then even going years and years... Oh, we're getting a bit of a signal issue now. Let's give that a second to try and reconnect. There we go. Hopefully that should be working now. Sorry guys, signal dropped. But yeah, years and years later, there were people that came out that were apparently recording... Brain's got dead. That apparently were contractors that built a simulator to train people on that type of craft as well. Like, there are so many connection points for that, touch points of proving that it could be. Look, it's not slam dunk evidence. We don't have the thing in front of us that we can all look at and tap at, but there are so many individual touch points. It does point it, look, and good there. And we're putting about east there, Almere. Well, about east, Vega is just in shot there, just that purple one. And Jonathan there, you won't get stressed if you see on there. You just can't work it out, what you are seeing. In fact, so, well, this is the thing. It depends. It depends, because we rely a lot of our psychological safety on our understandings of how the world works, right? And you'll see this in people, and you can see it a lot politically, that sometimes you'll be trying to, argue a point, the opposite of somebody else there, and they will get venomously angry, even though the point itself will be pretty inconsequential. They'll get so stressed by it, because you're not just proving that individual thing wrong, sometimes you're tackling that whole structure, because if that structure is correct, and that is what they've built that belief on, things like simple things, and this is a common one here, and there'll be a few people that follow it, but the good versus bad narrative there. There's a good person and there's a bad person. Well, that's how the world works. Well, you're a good person, you're a bad person. When you kind of actually go, look, well, actually, it's a little bit more complicated than that. That can really upset people, because it's a fundamental foundation of belief. And the same could be true with inanimate objects as well. If you're a mainstream prosaic person there that is rigid, like the government tells me everything, and I trust them and I trust everybody here, and then you see a fucking flying saucer fly over, you've got to match those two things up. There's a paradox there. And that difference between your experience and your belief structure, depending on what the cost of that experience is to you, it's the definition of trauma. It's very interesting how the mind works there, and space evolution over time as well there. And the Nibiru, the Anunnaki, and the elliptical orbit there. I need to watch that. I mean, yeah, there's loads of that talk about that, and there are touch points. It's not just old Zachariah Sitchin as well there. And Luis as well, thank you for the follow there. Wish you could see a ghost. I mean, yeah, I don't know if that horse was a ghost there. And Mitchell there, whereas in Essex, it was Eastwood Road between Rayleigh and Eastwood there. That's where that one was. The less densely populated bit as you get out of Rayleigh, just as you get out of Rayleigh, that's where that horse was. And Michelle as well there, thank you for the share. I appreciate that. Those likes and shares that help us reach more and more like-minded people. And if you are just joining us, I'm trying to catch up with the TikTok chat, so you give us a second. But also, I've got to catch up on the YouTube back over there as well. We're running a few chats tonight, a few messages behind, but I do want to hear everything you guys have got to say. I find it absolutely fascinating there. But yeah, we're doing a live UFO UAP Skywatch tonight there. These are the skies live from Wiltshire in the UK, right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stonehenge. So the strange and anomalous are very familiar in these skies. Keep your eyes peeled. We have a meteor shower as well. We've seen one shooting star. Hopefully we'll see a few more as well there. And I held that meteorite. That was the size of a dove. Oh, what? I remember touching, I think they've got one at the Greenwich Observatory there, a proper iron meteorite there, and there's something about holding something like that is amazing there. Andrewski, how's your days been there? What time are you on to, mate? Oh my god, actually that's a good point. I've got so much to do, and I've got to be on a train tomorrow morning as well, so I probably won't be on much longer, but I say that and we've still got so many messages behind. But it's been good, busy but good. I hope you've been well there. And I held a meteorite the size of a dice there, but it felt as heavy as a brick. Well, the iron ones are, they are very, very dense there. Fallen angels fancying us as irresistible human women there. The Nephilim, that is lots of religious texts talk about a very similar thing there. You do think, how much of that is going to be human interpretation, or are they all trying to again describe certain events there? And EV as well, thank you for the follow there. And Drewski there, I'm glad to hear it there. Thomas, I'm surprised no UFO landed in your garden there. Cass, your room is so green. Honestly, I look like a weirdo. Guys, go onto our TikTok page. We've got the short of it there, and it's the little clip, and it's like this doorway is just a green glow. It looks like you're being probed in here, but like the window is the same as well. And in the summer, when I've got the window open, the blinds open to get some bloody air in here, it's just this green light. God knows what the neighbours think there. When we were putting up the big dish on the roof to do the alien radio signal hunt, it's a really big parabolic mesh antennae dish there that's designed to listen to those frequencies. My neighbour looks up to me and he's like, "Oh, what TV channels are you trying to get with that?" And I'm thinking to myself, I've only just moved in here. Do I tell him it's for aliens? But it gets around pretty quick, so I'm sure I'm the local alien weirdo there. Time for another screen for easier comment reading. I actually need a bigger screen. This is on an auto cue, so that's why I'm looking at you guys, because there's a camera and it projects the screen up. Because that way, it's just better for eye contact. But they do a bigger version of the thing now. which I really, really bloody need. But no, this one is only about that big, so having the few chats on it, and I can make the TikTok chat bigger, I can't make the YouTube chat bigger. Very frustrating. So that's why I'm staring at you guys out there. And 12 scientists have gone missing or dead is rumoured. They are working on the zero-gravity machines. I think there's going to be something to it. Probably not all of them, but I reckon there's something going on there. It really is. And definitely with that sort of research, that is 100% going on. There are so many adjacent indicators for that being the case there. And some of those individuals are very, very interesting. And the situations around their disappearances, etc. there. And it vibrated for hours, suggesting it's hollow. That is very interesting to vibrate for that amount of time there as a meteorite there. And Lee kept looking outside, but it's really cloudy here in West Yorkshire. We are getting a whisper cloud come over. It's held off a little bit, so we're lucky there. But you have to live vicariously through the stream there. And what's the Patty video? And then Drewski, is that light pollution on the lens at the bottom? So it could well be, because we are pointing to that part of the town, but also this lens is a bit weird, and there's some lenses are brighter in certain areas, and I think I remember it doing this last summer when we were pointing there. So it could be, it could just be equipment issues there. And did you hear about the 12? Yes, I did. They're very interesting there. Where we scroll through there. Good evening, Blue Nose. I'm just getting to your message now. That's how far behind I am in the chat, guys. There. They're working in the nuclear sciences. A lot of them were, but even the general that went missing, he was literally working on the reverse engineering stuff, and his emails were leaked, wasn't he? With he was a liaison with or an informant of old what's his name, Blink 182 chap that did all of the UFO disclosure stuff. So he's definitely connected directly to the UFO stuff there. And Man and his dog, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from there? And Patriot Games there. NASA scientists going taken is now monthly. They will keep doing this. The security services kind of haven't learned that they can't keep doing, like the politicians, they can't keep doing the same shit that they always do. We live in a day and age where it's far too connected, and people are now able to connect these dots and get that information, and they're just not used to it. So they will keep pushing it, they will keep doing it until it is so damn obvious that it all comes out there. And when is it there, Raphael? So it should be now, the meteor shower, just any time they could come up on screen there. And Glitch Boys, thank you for the follow, good to have you in there. And NASA, I'm just working on the same stuff yet. We've done that one there. And Adrian as well, Glitchboy, question, what do you think of the Trump releasing the alien files there? So anything, even just talking about that is a good thing. Brings it up again in popular culture a bit more. A few more people go, oh, I didn't know the president's even talking about that. Well, maybe it's not as silly as we thought it was. Just anything like that is good. Now, politicians always promise lots, do they, and deliver very little. I mean, even the first round of the Epstein files was a bit of a joke. So I'm sure they'll kind of give us nothing first, but hopefully we'll get more and more and more. They won't give us everything. It'll be they want to give us as little as possible, but hopefully is some progress to walk to that as well. And Jonathan there, I for one don't understand the quantum mechanics there. Would love to. I mean, Jonathan, literally they do say if a scientist says he understands quantum mechanics, then he doesn't understand quantum mechanics. There are still so many questions around it. I mean, even things like gravity, that we have a functional understanding, we know a bit about it there, but some of the real core foundational elements of that, we don't understand. We haven't locked in, even the scientists there. I said we have enough to make it functional, but we don't understand it fully. There's so many strange things out there that we don't have a good grip on. That's a nice one. The tracking seems to be working on that. Does it? Keep an eye out for the strange behaviour. Loving the stickers, Blue Nose there. And boys as well. Don't Bob's your uncle. There we go. Thank you for the follow there. Took me a minute, didn't it? And goodbye there. I see a satellite. There are going to be lots tonight there, so keep your eyes peeled. But we need to see it do something strange. I said lots of man-made satellites up there, just like that one it's tracking now. That is following a straight, consistent path, a nice, consistent speed. Probably a man-made satellite, but at any point it could stop dead, change its course or trajectory, and prove to us that it is not one of the many man-made satellites, but it in fact is something a lot stranger. Now, what that strange thing could be, that's anyone's guess. It's hard for us to tell from down here, but satellites can't change their direction, they can't change their speed, not by what we can see from down here. It breaks physics. They're falling to Earth in a big circle and looks like a line to us there, so that immediately tells us it's something strange there. Kate coming in with the shares. Again, guys, the likes, the shares, we do appreciate all that. That is how we reach more and more like-minded people there like yourselves. You don't know who's going to come in and going to share their experience with the phenomena or give us some more information there, so I really appreciate that, and it helps build our community up there. And And lovely budgets are there. What was the space worm? So sorry about that. It's a bit of our colloquial term for things. So we call them space worms because they look like little worms crawling across the screen there. They're most likely birds or bats. We get a lot of birds and sort of geese and things flying over at night here. And because they're lower and they're not reflecting that sunlight back, they can look darker. Plus they seem to wiggle because animals, organic, they tend to just wiggle about a bit about there. So space worms, bats, birds, things like that there. Oh, I'll pass that one on to Leanne there, Kate there. And Vaz, seen any UFOs today? You know what? We've seen lots of activity, but I don't think we've seen the anomalies today, guys, have we? I don't think we've seen any anomalies today. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Ant-Men, you love the Ant-Men there. And Valiant Clips, how are you doing? Good to see you there, matey. I hope you've been well. Sorry it's taken me so long to get around there. JF Aviation there. Hi, when's the best time to see the Meteor? So I think about 3 a.m. UK time is one of the peaks, but right now it is going on. It's just we haven't had much luck yet. I've only seen a couple there. And Drewski there, your tracker has learned a lot since yesterday. Thank you. As the night goes on, it seems to be getting better, but there's been a few bits I'm going, that's basic. Come on, it's frustrating me a bit. So we're going to have words over the weekend, me and that tracker. Hopefully it'll get better there as well. And Lisa's got good night, Lee. Hopefully I caught you there. But thank you for joining us there as well. Now, right back over to the YouTube, guys. Let's see if I can catch up with you at the minute there. Probably in burger meat there. Yeah, the McDonald's meat. And 11 for now. What was that for there as well? And look at the McDonald's and how they make their burgers. I mean, I get it. I get what you're saying. And I will concede a bit of a point here, actually. If the population size is smaller, then maybe they could be more efficient than in my first account there. But by no means do I think it is obvious as a solution, as a match-up for that at the minute there. But it is an interesting angle there. And there as well. And aliens could have a much bigger state of consciousness. They would consider humans to be like, oh no, I've done that one. I must have caught up with these ones already. And so that's the issue there. So you still got to wake up there. See, that's the problem. And like, I kind of get, like, if you're kind of deep into something, you've got knowledge here. We get this a lot from the flat Earth community there. Like, you guys, there's something to you guys that seems so obvious, right? You've spent the time and you've looked into all this stuff, and to you guys that makes sense. And maybe if I looked into it, it'd make sense for me as well there. But whether it's terms like, oh, you've got to wake up, or for a lot of the it's like, oh, you're sheep, or and things like that, that's really like, it's really offensive. You know, that's the sort of thing there. Just to imply waking up implies that, oh no, you know, you're daydreaming. And look, this is the problem, is this is how society works. We delegate knowledge out to other people because we can't possibly search for things the whole time ourselves. If we were to do that, we wouldn't ever have a chance to progress. We'd all be figuring out everything ourselves. We delegate to various degrees out to other institutions. Now, do we delegate to the wrong degree? 100%. Do we delegate to the wrong institutions? 110% there. We do it all of the time, but the principle of that sort of there is, you can't break that. That is how humanity works. It's how we progress as a species. There's plenty of flaws, but that's how we move on with it there. So, like, what you've got to do is you've got to be careful with the language. Very careful, because otherwise people don't come over to it. There. And I sense we are a spirit having... Oh, no, I've done that one as well there. So why didn't I catch that one before there? And... oh, why is it jumping ahead? Oh, for fuck's sake. Sorry, guys, let me try and find it. It's scrolling ahead. Oh, just past a super chat there. How did I miss that one there? Trajectory Lines Rule, thank you there, Rob. Very, very kind of yourself there. I appreciate that. The super chats, the gifts, subs, the patrons, it all goes back into the stream and helping us improve what we do. Oh, my God, where is it going? Let's have a look. Catching up with the chat, guys. Oh. Oh, where are we? Let me scroll up here as well. Alright, don't worry, you'll share there. But that is the thing. The burgers thing. I get what people mean. It's like when they call them the milkshakes aren't really milkshakes. They're thick shakes for a reason, legally distinct, because they don't put the milk in the milkshakes anymore, do they? They haven't done for a long time. And the burgers, yeah, of course they're going to get away with putting crap in there. But to say that there's absolutely no beef in no McDonald's burgers anywhere at all is
is wrong because, you know, you tell all of the cows that they knock down the rainforest for. You know, that's where a lot of that freaks. I don't know if that's still true to this exact day, but it was a couple of years ago. They were still definitely putting some meat in some of their burgers as well there. But of course, corporations are going to mess around with that. But it's a question of physics. It's mass. Where is that stuff coming from? You know, it's got to come from somewhere. You know, whether it's a cow or whether it's all plant protein or something, there has to be, you know, think of how much agricultural land there is. You know, it breaks physics. It doesn't come from nothing there. And one freaky thing I saw was a human brain has the same pattern as the nerves in the universe, and it's literally, Zark, 100% there. It's the distribution, isn't it, of mass in the galaxy, something like that, has the same distribution pattern as nerves in the human brain there. As above, so below. There are these patterns. It's insane there. And is it lab grown meat? I mean, they're possibly, I know they're experimenting with that more and more and more there, isn't it there? And can't you look through a microscope at McDonald's chicken dippers and burgers there, and it's not a meat. I imagine most of it probably isn't. I know they chew it all up and stuff, don't they? There's some disgusting things they do, but a certain degrees of it has to be. Purely because if you're operating at that scale, you need regulation improvement there, and they have like the roads. So like this is a really good point. You're highlighting here something. So I'm making this argument, right, based on a degree of faith and belief. So this is a really good example, because as you're saying this, although, you know, I haven't tested it, I haven't looked into all of the stuff like that, but what I'm doing is I'm reverting back to things. I know our institutions are corrupt. I know they're incredibly inefficient stuff, but I'm looking at like the scale of things, going like an international institution like McDonald's has to be approved to a certain degree there. Certain amounts will have to go through testing to meet the requirement there for, you know, whatever it is, blah blah blah, for this, for that. So for those sorts of things. So there's a default belief to a degree of faith, no matter how much corrupt I think there's obviously a bit. So it's interesting, and I could be wrong. Like this is the thing of it. I can't say 100% that I'm definitely right, but I'm arguing the case because it doesn't sound right. You know, it doesn't kind of fit in that rough shape. And this is a brilliant example of how we navigate the world. Like, we can't know everything about everything all of the time. Now, if for some reason the McDonald's cake having its percentage of meat became important in my life there, maybe the only food I can eat is McDonald's, and I needed a certain amount of meat content, and that presents it to me, comes on my radar, then it would be important for me to look and to confirm that, and to check if my belief there, my faith in an institution and a structure was well placed or not, because it rests on it. And now it doesn't. This is just a casual conversation, so I can fall back on the broader things. But, you know, we need that scientific scalpel, you know, of understanding those sorts of things there, down to that granular detail, only when we need that consistent of an outcome. But we can use a blunter, broader tool, belief and faith, and things like that. Art is one of them, for those wider concepts are there as well. There. But with the guy on YouTube, here's an interesting question about faith as well. Why do you believe the guy on YouTube? Is it somebody that you know? I'm not saying that they're wrong, and I'm not saying that they're lying, but why? What is it that kind of gives you the faith in that institution? I think it's really interesting to figure that one out. Like, is it that you've got a relationship with this person, you've seen them over years, and you've seen their work, and then they're you know, they've been true on all the other things, so I think by default, you know, they've built up that faith. Did they come out and, you know, they've qualifications, and therefore, you know, it's faith in an institution? You know, it's interesting to figure out why we do that, because there's a few things that I've spouted before, and I go, wait a minute, why did I let that information in and I took that for granted, versus when I stopped and I questioned the other things? You know, why am I questioning and coming back and talking about this one with you, rather than going, oh, that's great, that's interesting? Why is it, you know, what is it about that? What in our brains flags up this down the let's have a think about this, versus that sounds and that fits? What knowledge structure do we filter that through there? And at least with there, we have the Romans. What the Romans ever done for us? I mean, the Romans are an interesting one, aren't they? Like, if you think about how mad it is, like how much we reverted without those structures, without those institutions, again, use the words again, there, that they relied on, how our civilizations kind of fell back there. Very interested in it there. And what's that? I love a lot the one episode where they hacked the mains power and rigged up the heating for free.
What was that one? What's that one there? And you do realise they make hamburgers from the leftovers from the select cuts of the cow, and they would still sell the premium cuts to hamburger prices. Oh yeah, but that's it. But that's still meat. Still comes from a cow. So that's what we're saying there. It's like, you know, it's all the ground up male chicks, isn't it? And like, you know, eyelids and beaks and stuff that goes into the chicken nuggets, but it's still part of a chicken. There, isn't it? There. And one theory is that a time machine cannot go back. It can only go forward there from the time it was invented. I've heard this, and time machine, although not fully prohibited by our understanding of physics, it is much more difficult. For going forward is easy because I've just done it. We're all travelling in time. That's one of the dimensions that we perceive. But yeah, and that was one of the things that I hadn't considered until recently, was that maybe they're not necessarily us coming back from the future, that's us that's evolved there. Maybe they are beings from the past, a pre-civilization. They've managed to build this technology to go forward, but they can't get back there as well. Very intelligent, knowledgeable, brilliant live chat. Thank you there. But I'm learning from you guys and being moulded as well, because even the conversation that we're having there, I mean, if we talk about the McDonald's stuff, but that is the thing. This is the thing. You have to kind of open yourself up to these sorts of things. Doesn't mean you believe everything everybody says there, but you've got to. But like I was more against it, and then I had to pause and listen a bit to that, a bit more, and go, wait a minute, my suppositions there, is that true? And hopefully, if we can all do that a bit more, we'll eventually be more accurate with our assumptions of it all there. But I appreciate that one, Willow. It's you guys that provide the awesome conversation there. And aliens have never visited there. You're just wasting your time looking at stars and satellites there. Terry, you're not going to be in at all there. But that is such an interesting statement to make there. So you didn't say that aliens don't exist. You said they never visited us, and it's a possibility. These distances could be so vast there, and maybe, although a warp drive is technically possible in physics, maybe getting the energy requirements is something that we haven't done as a species. Maybe it just isn't possible, and maybe they can't traverse these distances here. I think there's a lot of something else going on then that would need to explain some of the events that have been seen. Well, that's a big flash, but you know, maybe that is the answer there. But wasting your time there to look at stars and satellites, personally, I think it's stunning. Even the satellites and things there as well. But this is the different mindsets in people there. So Terry's taken the statistical odds there in his mind by the information he's received there and gone, ain't worth it to me. Whereas we as a community have gone, what else are we doing of an evening? Sod it, let's roll the dice and see what we get. That is a difference in mindset between accountants and entrepreneurs there, between archaeologists and treasure hunters. Some people are willing to do the work, to do the high risk for the high reward there. But because this is the thing, we see things that in the skies that are strange, that aren't explained by satellites or stars or shooting stars or planes there. Now, what are they? They may not be little green men, but whatever they turn out to be, that's going to be hella interesting, isn't it, there? And all hamburgers have some pork in it there. There we go. And you can give the channel a follow. Thank you there as well there. Sure, most of us would go back to the 80s. I do wonder, because me of my generation, I think I look back fondly on the 90s. And we're always nostalgic for our youth there. Is it because they were better times? Or is it because we had less, most of us, and if you had a reasonable childhood, had less responsibility than we do now? Is it that we're, you know, so connected now, we see all of the world's crap? But is it objectively any worse? I know everybody's going to say, yes, it is objectively worse there. And Zark as well, how much knowledge there we have gained in the last 100 years. In 1926, if you had told them about the universe, they wouldn't have believed you, and in 100 years from today, who knows what we'll find. That curve, that exponential curve, is very interesting in of itself. It's one of those adjacent indicators, isn't it, there? Is that a clue that maybe something else is going on there? It's definitely the clue for me that our understanding of civilization, human development, that is not a functional model. That is so outdated. You know, something is good. The fact that we can do this development when the seasons are right, when the sun is warm enough and we can grow enough food. You know, now as somebody intervened there, that could be an argument. They do talk about a lot of reverse engineered tech, don't they, and things like that. It is very interested in point there. To be fair, Sam, you were were on the BBC and in an article with your channel. We was there. We got, who else was it? local radio was doing another one as well there. Things will change like horses to spacecraft, and beyond what we can perceive there. Like before, I mean, we have utilised horses for a long time, haven't we? So I suppose we've always had that conception of a mode of transport. But it's interesting, isn't it? You know, we can't pick something out of a vacuum there. But this is something that a lot of artists don't get. That they are, they think it's more of a skills thing, or it's a muse thing, but it's really not. It's matching up dots. They're able to see certain connections in the future and convey that through a specific medium. So if it's too far ahead, we can't conceive of it there, in the same way that probably the Romans couldn't conceive of cars. I mean, maybe they probably could, because they had carts, they had something to attach it to, but you kind of have to have something, not just to verbally explain, but to have that structure, because words and language aren't just so you can tell somebody something. They're a little bit of program, they're a little bit of code, a little bit of software, that actions and executes it. And I've said this before, but it's an interesting way to visualize this, right? If I say, I'm going to go set the table for dinner, right? I can just say, I'm going to set the table, so you've done that down there. But what is involved in that? Well, it's involved in getting the plates out, getting the placemats out, getting the knives, the cutleries out. But how many knives? How many placemats? Where do they sit on the table? What is that individual? How many footsteps is it to the table from where I keep the plates? How many micromuscular movements is it to put that fork and that knife down? All of that, you don't think about any of that. It's condensed into a little program, the same as when you write a little bit of software code, and it is condensed into those words: set the table. That is what language does. It compresses and it frees up your brain then. So language is important for those structures, those functions in the world there. From a distant perspective, our planet's being are intent on making minority gains from fellow Earthlings in the far future. Maybe money itself will cease to exist there. I think it will. Not because I'm a particular, what do they call it? Eden sort of, what do they call that now? Like a utopianist there, but this is the thing. We will homogenize. The more we share the same experience, the more we will become the same, not just physiologically, but psychologically. I think as individuals, we will become less individual. Like we see this currently, both physiologically and psychologically now with modern humans, because our experiences are becoming more and more common. The only reason that we have differences in our body, difference in our physical ability, different in our psychological temperaments is because we're all adapted for very specific different environments. And we've made this comparison before as well, that right now we are 100 and 200 people together now watching this stream around the world, but we're all, through the wonders of technology, whether that's insulation or air conditioning or central heating, we are all sharing probably a very similar temperature within a few degrees there. So we've unified that. But without that technology, in all the different environments, that range of temperatures will be up and down and everywhere. And some of us would have had to have had a fur, to deal with that biologically, had those extra layers. But technologically now, we're equalizing that. But, in the same way that, going to the shops and buying the same product for the same price, that isn't necessarily the same for each person still, even in our modern world. And my mother, we live quite close, right? She's just slightly up a hill and I'm slightly down the hill, and the shops are equally distant between our houses there. But that distance is not the same even though the physical distance is the same. I have to go up a hill, she goes down a hill. There's a different calorie expense to do that sort of thing. Or sorry, from her perspective, she's on the level, so she doesn't go down the hill. I go up and down the hill. So even though we're paying the same price, we're taking the same time, our experience is still slightly different. Now, you imagine a world where the technology is so advanced that they can sort out all these differences. We're levitating, we get all the nutrition and the food we need. Well, then our experiences will be so the same that it becomes a liability to have different personalities, become differences. But what do you see in the UFO, the ET encounters? You see they all look the same, all the greys and stuff. We will homogenize like that there. And I saw a good UFO twice. So I got a gold UFO twice at the exact same time in the same place when I was in Wales, and it spun around in a circle. I'd asked to see it before I saw it, and it contacted them. So it's a bit of that consciousness connection there. As gold, it span around in a circle. That is a really cool encounter. Was that a night one as well? And Tom, the shield guide, so that's it. Tom's along there. Well done. So yeah. I mean, I don't know. Tom strikes me, honestly, he didn't strike me as a sort of person that can hold his tongue. And I think that's why he's totally silent now, because I think he's probably going down a journey, a road that he can't deal with there. I'm going to have to wind it up. I'm not fully up to date, guys, but I'm going to have to wind it in the chat tonight, because I have got to get on a train tomorrow very, very early. So I'm sorry, I've actually failed to catch up with the chat tonight, guys. So sorry with that. So, guys, if you did have a message that I didn't read out yet, sorry, save it for tomorrow. I want to pick all those ones up. They're all fascinating there. Tomorrow night, it's 50-50 if we're going to be on for the Skywatch. Technically, if Leanne's well enough, because we're relying on her for that, we might be on TikTok only at about 6:30 to 7 p.m. for what we call The Quest. And that is nothing UFO related. We're piloting a new show, and we're using you as a guinea pig audience for that. And it's hilarious. It's crude, it's silly, and it's about half an hour to an hour there. As part of my day job, you get to witness this very weird game show sort of thing that we're playing there. So we want you in there if you're about to test that as an audience. So yeah, if Leanne's well enough, we're going to do that, and that means we won't be back in time to do a Skywatch tomorrow. But if she's ill, we'll be on for the Skywatch there. So just keep your eyes peeled there. Make sure you're following, make sure you're subscribed there, and then you'll get those notifications for that. But if you are about, and we are doing the quest there, we'd love to see you about 6:30, 7 p.m. UK time, something like that, and love your feedback on all of that. So I'm going to scroll quickly to the bottom of the chats there, just to make sure we caught up with everything there. If I haven't caught you and said hello, yeah, sorry about that. It's really caught me ahead tonight there, but I do need to get off, because otherwise I've still got to put my pins out and then get up early for a train there. So you'll have to forgive me. Normally we always reach the end of the chat there. But thank you again so much, guys, for your support tonight. Be that asking questions, providing us with information, challenging us in certain ways as well. Do appreciate all of that there. But yeah, you're tapping away, you're liking, you're sharing, helping us build our community. Really, really like that as well. Remember, we've got our Discord community there. Links in the bio for that if you want to join that, for the off chat, the off stream chat there, the latest news, the UFO encounters, and all of that sort of stuff there as well. You guys are awesome. We appreciate you all. Thank you again for keeping us company as we're watching the stars tonight there. We'll be back for the UFOs hopefully tomorrow night. But if not, yeah, I'll probably be doing something then Friday there as well. But yeah, keep up, guys. Oh, it is hard to keep up with the chat there, especially when we're on two streams. In the summer, I was always 100 messages behind, but I always caught up. But I don't know, it's caught me tonight there. But we are pretty. We're getting surprisingly busy now. But yeah, no, my favourite part is seeing the cool things, but it's hearing your stories, hearing your knowledge on all these things as well. So sorry I haven't, if you have put the message in there as well. Save it and come back to us when we're on next there. But thank you again so much for all of your support and just hanging out with us and doing all that. But yeah, we'll catch you all hopefully tomorrow night, guys. Bye bye.